goes out to my mother, Beverly K. Jacobs, and to the world. Let them know that we live by faith and not by sight.
Dear Heavenly Parents, we come to you in prayers, saying thank you for another day. We pray for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We pray for your spirit, spirit of truth, spirit of love. We pray for all those that will be into Israel, and we pray that you draw them. We pray that we learn how to pray more and that we will seek you more. That way we know everything will be all right. We pray for all the lost ones that they will be found, that no one is left behind. We pray that we always have in our mind and in our hearts to do your good pleasure and your will, and that we never depart from it. Continue to keep us in obedience. Continue to keep us in our discipline. Keep us in your truth, that we may do your will. In Yahuwah we pray forever and ever. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right. Today we're going into, this one's going to be called Pandemonium.
Pandemonium?
Yes, it's going to be Pandemonium. It's going to be a couple of definitions I'm going to want y'all to know. This will be the first one. Okay, so before you can truly understand what the word means, we got to understand that first of all, we know that the devil, from what we learned, lives in the cleft of the rock. And we know cleft of the rock meaning in the weakness. And he definitely is in what they call communications. So he loves to get in those places that separates us communicating to Yah, Yah communicating to us, and from us communicating to one another, especially of those that are elect. The devil's goal is to always keep those divided because he knows that a house divided can't work. So he definitely always creates that divide. He lives within the divide. That's where you will find him. In every situation, you will find him in that divide. So we know that if there's ever a miscommunication between the two of us, you know who's in the middle, who has created that miscommunication. It will always be the devil. That's what always keeps us arguing with one another, keeps us fighting and debating. It's always that instigator. That's what he's known to be, the instigator of creating the madness between two people. That they don't get along because the goal is not for them to what? Get along. Because the devil knows it's strength in numbers. There always has been strength in numbers, and they know that. So the goal of the enemy is to never allow us to unite. You know, and that's what the devil has always went about to do, was to break that union, that yoke between you and your heavenly parents and you and one another. He definitely wants to always be in between that. That's why they go about to monitor you now, to be in between all levels of communication, import, exports. You know, anytime you're trying to do anything from trading routes, they always are going to be found there. And you notice that now. When you think about it, even if you're just trying to get a delivery, they definitely there are the delivery guys. You know what I mean? And so whatever you're trying to get from point A to point B, those are always there. And they kind of dictate that. That's why sometimes your mail be all open, you know, because that's them, the devil. It's always behind it to try to block. You know, he's that blessing blocker. He's the one in your mailbox reading your mail. He's the one listening to your phone calls. He's the one, you know, tapping your internet, you know, because he knows all of those levels of communication. So he definitely always wants to be one step ahead to be able to know what it is that you are talking about, to know what's the plan, you know, how do we approach them going forward, to always want to know what are you thinking, what do you got going on. So the devil will always be in that midst, because the goal for the devil is to know what you got going on, meaning he doesn't want to see the rise of Israel as a whole. See, he doesn't mind one or two people. That means nothing to him for the whole scope of his people, right? Because that's no threat to his people. But when you become to be united within the numbers of hundreds and then thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions, then it becomes a clear problem and a clear threat. And so his goal is to never see those type of numbers between us and Yah. That's his goal. Ultimate goal is to keep us out of that race, period. Right? And so we know that. Now, so there's been things that have been done from the beginning. So we know Esau loves to go about and change how I talk to you. One once told me that Esau has riddled all the words with curses and spells, and to the point where the English language in itself has been so corrupted over time, to the point where nothing you say sometimes makes any sense, but it makes all the sense to the devils and demons that operate in that world, because they know it's all about the words, the word of Yah, right? And how does the word of Yah come out? Someone has to say it. And faith come about what? Hearing. So somebody also has to hear it. So he knows that's the communication between word of what? Word of mouth. Word of mouth. From one mouth to someone's ear. He called it from faith to faith. From somebody's mouth to another person's ear. That's how word of mouth goes. The devil loves to be in between that. Right there. In that little gap. That's called the weakness of man. It's that little gap right there. That's where the devil dwells. You're going to always understand that as you go further in your walk. So with that being said, we know that he also has, Moses says that I will send you, when we got cursed, send you to a strange land of people speaking a strange language. So the words have definitely been corrupted. So corrupted that when you think you're speaking one way, to the devil, this sounds a whole totally different thing. He does it for a reason. This is not your original language, and we know it. And that's why when you even go to courtrooms, you begin to see how this language is displayed, and you begin to see how they kind of talk over your heads, even in courtrooms. And then they won't allow you to speak on your own behalf. They say you have to have someone represent you. That's like that what they call those memes that loves to act like he's trapped in that little box, the invisible box. So they got to have the meme speak for you. You know, you can't say your own words. You got to have basically a clown face man just acting like he's speaking or representing you. It's like a play, right? You can't even be your own person in the play. Someone has to portray you. So that's why they have to give you a lawyer that portrays you and not just you speaking for yourself. Because it's all done according to their mastery of trickery, because they love to trick words. They love to mess with words. There's so many things that are right in front of your face, but because they have dirtied it up and corrupted it, you don't know that's what that is. So I'm going to give you a couple of definitions today to take forth with you, that you will always be able to see and understand things a little bit more clear. So one of the words I'm giving you today would be pandemonium. Simple word, right? If I even ask you before you even look at the definition, what would anyone think pandemonium means?
Destruction. That's what I would think.
Mm-hmm. Destruction, I hear. What you think? You don't know? Okay, so well, pandemonium, normally when you would think of pandemonium, you would think of a mess. Somebody, a bunch of people just making a mess. Pandemonium means when all chaos is broke loose. You know, when how they said, this one gonna bust hell gates wide open. That's what they be meaning. Pandemonium. And when everything is just, you know, cars on fire, overturned tables, everything just a mess. Kids running around crying and ladies crying, people can't find their kids, and it's just pandemonium, stuff on fire. That's what they would call pandemonium. Just corruption on all levels, right? That's what you would think that meant. That is what you would think that meant, because that is how it's portrayed. So when you go to your Wikipedia and just Google the word, which I have done, y'all led me in the spirit to just do it one day. Just say, okay, what does this mean? That's how the spirit works. See, the spirit goes and finds the little things that you don't know, and it'll lead you right to something, boom, and like, yeah, that's what I wanted you to see. That's how the spirit works, spirit of truth. It'll guide you to things so that you will understand things, because its goal is to make sure that you are very well equipped in your environment. So this is one of the words. So when I looked at it originally, it says pandemonium. This is going to be in your Wikipedia. It says the definition: wild and noisy disorder, confusion. Is that the devil dwells where? Uproar, right? Chaos is another word. I remember that one too in the Lost Books, chaos. So all of that is actually that water that Yahushua was what? Walking on. So everything that's in the water, in that fear, was in what? Chaos. Pandemonium. Exactly. Disorder. Meaning everything is out of what?
Order.
Everything is out of order. Because they mean, now when I say it, everything's out of order, that means people are out of place. People are out of position. Certain titles belong to this person, but you got someone else masquerading with it. That's what that would mean. That would create what they call pandemonium. When you got people out of the wrong positions. Like, for instance, finding a fork in the restroom. Forks don't go in restrooms. Forks go in kitchens and dining areas. It's like finding toilet paper in the kitchen, right? It's just completely out of order. It's chaotic. When a person comes into that type of house, they can't see, everything's just everywhere. That's sort of like how Yahushua, when he walked into the temple at the first time and he entered into the city and he turned over the tables and said, y'all have turned this house into a den of what? Thieves, because it should have been, meaning he's saying he was recognizing the order in which it was first set. And now he looked at how it became something else before his eyes. After they done dirtied it up, corrupted it up, and put a lot of people in, that was the original people gone, but now there's a whole new people here, and they're doing something totally different according to what was the standard in which it was set at first. Right? Because Yah is the same yesterday, what? Today and forevermore. So Yah doesn't change the way he does things. And so that's when things begin to get out of order. Out of order, pandemonium was also talking about the days of Noah. When the earth had got so bad to the Yah had to flood it. And even in those days, that was considered what? Pandemonium. Right? All right. A madhouse, they would say, in a madhouse. But the opposite of pandemonium, they call it is peace, silence, paradise. So when everything's in order, everything is, they will call it paradise. Now, but all this is what we think it means. It's what we think it means. But that is not what it originally meant. If you actually look up the definition and then go down to the word origins, if you look it up right quick, go to pandemonium, look it up, and go down to the word, scroll down till it goes to origins. The original word. Go to pandemonium, just Google what the word means, right? The definition. And go to and it's going to show you, right? Now, scroll down to where, go back up. In there, let me see. As you go in there, always look at the hit translations and more definitions. Click it. And then it will begin to show you the origin of it. See, they don't like to show you that part. That's why you got to click it to actually go into it. You go into the origin part, You're going to have a button that says translations and more definitions. Click that first. It opens it up, the whole definition up. Are we there? Mm-hmm. Now, when you actually open up the word, the origin of the word, what does it say? It separates it in two words, three really. It says pan first. So pan means what? All. Pan would mean all. And demonium, you got to break that down because it's what? Demon. So it's actually saying all demons. That's why I say all chaos or all hell is what? Broken loose. So this is what they're saying is that it's all demons. It's a place because IUM represents, it's the same word as like saying gymnasium, right? Or stadium, right? The IUM part. So we know that represents a place of activity. A place of what? Activity. Now it's going to tell you what type of activity it is by going back over the word. Pandemonium is all what?
All
Activities. So the word pandemonium actually means all demons activity. And if you go down, it says, and then what happens when all demons break loose? Paradise is what?
Lost.
It's lost. You see it. Paradise is lost. That's the garden of what? Eden. Paradise and peace is lost when all demons break loose. So actuality of that word is telling you that you are now existent in the world. Well, remember it says fallen angels? So pandemonium actually means all demons break loose. So all of the angels, fallen angels that have fallen, what did they fall to? Earth. So you are actually in the midst of all what? All demons and all demon activity at all times. Bet you didn't know that? The word itself, it says it. If you go Google it right quick, Google the word, pandemonium, and then hit translations and more definitions. And go down to the original word. This is the word they don't want you to know. That's what it really means.
But no, the name already got demon in it.
There you go. It always had it in the word.
Yeah,
But now you see it, right? It says all demons. Pandemonium. Pandemons. As you can see, and pan means all demons. When a place where all demons what? Gather. So where and what place they call that? They call that what? Chaos and disorder, right? Another word for it they call it is a circus. Right? And so you didn't come to find out that you are actually smack dead in the middle of all demon and demonic activity passing you by every single day. And you do not know you in the midst of a bunch of demons, because that's why he told you to be careful how you entertain strangers, because you might be entertaining what? Angels. But there also are what? Angels, demons are fallen what?
Angels.
Exactly. So you are in the midst of them and didn't even know it. They running around here all day, every day. Some demons are in people, some of those demons are in animals. They be around you all the time. You just don't know. But they're always there. This is where you are at. I'm just trying to get you to wake up and see where you're at. You are in the midst of pandemonium. All demons that have taken possessions of things, they broke free, they scattered out, but they still found their way back to America. And so when you go, whether you go to Mexico, whether you go to London, you're going to see demon activities in people. So these movies about poltergeist and those movies, Damien, those movies are real. They be in people. You don't know them, but they know you. They definitely know you. That's one thing the demons do know. They know everything and all activities going on. So their goal all day, every day, is to get the elect to what? Fall. You be right in the midst of them and don't know it. Your co-worker can be a demon. Your boss, your teacher could be one. That's just how close they are there in your presence, and you just don't know. Your celebrity could be one. Your favorite celebrity could be one. Your best friend could what? That's how close it is. It could be even in your own house. How would you know? So you are always in the midst of what they call pandemonium, which is all demon place of all demons, where they gather and create what? Demon activity. And the activity that they're doing is trying to destroy the what? The elect at all times. That's why I say you will know the truth, and the truth will set you what? From them. Pandemonium is also the headquarters of what they call hell. It will be what you call the capital of hell. This is where all of them, this is where the devil will gather, Baal will gather, all the demons, they will all gather, and they will sit at their little round table, and they will make rules, and they will make laws, so that they can carry about their what? Activities. So, come to find out, they love to make laws to help demons out, don't they? They love to make rules to help demons, to keep them going, to keep them about, so that they can continue their activities. Right? So I wanted y'all to recognize that first. All right? So let's get off into some of these scriptures. But that won't be the only one. That is one of the definitions I definitely needed y'all to know. That's why he said, you who used to cast out what? Yeah, because they was real. They were actually in people. And some of them things got inside of even some of the Yah's people, to the point he had to cast them out. Like, I got to get the devil out this person. Because they be walking around with it and then don't know it. The devil ain't going to let you know that they in you. You just going to start doing crazy stuff. Some of these sicknesses that we be coming up with be a direct demon contact. I'm talking about stuff like fevers, stuff like flus, flu-like symptoms. You know, these demons definitely affect you. They definitely do affect you. Some of that cancerous stuff comes directly from direct demon contact. You don't know it, but they are all around us. And they have laws and they have lawmakers that keep them enabled. But they're always trying to call you the devil. That's just to throw it off the cover from people recognizing what? Them. Because they know you see them. But they got to keep everybody else what? Food. I'll show you one right quick. Watch this here. 1 Timothy 3:16. And it says, and without controversy, great is the mystery of godliness. Godliness, he's talking about godliness, meaning Yah and you. But at this point, he was talking about Yahushua because he was the first one who did it. So when Yahushua first recognizes this, what he means godliness will represent the Godhead. Then it said that Yah was manifested in the flesh. So first of all, it's telling you that Yahushua had who in him? Yah. Yah manifested in the flesh, meaning was born in the flesh. Same way Melchizedek. This is the mystery. Number 2 is justified in the spirit. So he also was accompanied with the what? Spirit. That's how you know he was justified. Justified meaning he was true because the spirit agreed with him by him having the what? The spirit of truth and the spirit of love. That he was already called to be who he was called to be, an elect. And what does it say for the third? He was what? Seen of angels. Now these angels he's talking about wasn't his friends. See, these are the ones he always had to go what? Cast out. That's what it means, seen of angels. Because he's seen what these angels or demons were doing to people. See, he was on his mission, and as he's seen these demons and the activities of them, he would loose them people from those what? Demons. Loose them from the holds of them. Casting them out. That's what it means, so seen of angels, but they actually, the word angels will be demons. But they're going to always just say angels because they know demons are fallen what? Angels. So you can still put that word there. It will represent the same. He was preached unto the Gentiles, meaning he began to what? Preach to the what? Gentiles. Meaning those were the lost sheep of what? Israel. So this is what he came to do. Believed on in the world, right? And he what? Meaning that he left and went up into glory. Meaning he sat on the right-hand throne of Yah, right? So that was the mystery of godliness, that if you do this, this is who you are. But you're going to be seen by a lot of adversaries, right? That's what it means. Seen by what? Angels. Angels are the adversaries, the enemies, the ones that's trying to set people free, but they trying to keep people what? Captive. See, that's the thing. They want to keep them jailed like that. That's what he mean when they seen him like, whoa, what you come to do? And he be like, I come to set them what? Free. Exactly. So in order for him to do that, he got to go through what? An angel. That was holding them what? Exactly. That was who he was. All right. So that you understand that you always are in the midst of that type of activity. Everywhere you go. That's why everything in the world is such like it is. Think about it. Now, you'll see people getting all them crazy tattoos all over their bodies and face. This is who you're dealing with. You're dealing with people that eat blood. When they eat their meats and steaks and stuff, they want it bloody. You don't know that you're just always in the midst of these people. Like Hannibal Lecter and stuff, he'd be considered a demon, right? Even though he's a character, but we know that people like him in real life. They're not just, something's wrong with them. A lot of times you see them like they're having superhuman strength. They're able to do things not normal. Right? Some of them get into children too. Let's say that too. Sometimes these children walk around with these little, demons and bad spirits in them. So you always in the midst of that pandemonium. And the reason why it's called pandemonium is because of some of the titles that when these fallen angels fell, they robbed you of your titles and they took upon themselves those what? Those titles. So they started calling themselves what? Priests, ministers, teachers, presidents, governors, police officers. And all the while, congressmen, lawmakers. And you did not know that them people was working with the demons? Who you think passes the laws to keep them going? You think they don't know that there's a lot of demon activity? They know. But does Congress help the demons? Of course they do. That's why they're able to run around. That's what I mean. Pandemonium, they're able to. Demons freed. That's what I mean. They not held in check by what? Nobody. Because the lawmakers make laws to allow them to run rampant. They're able to do whatever they want to do. Right? All right. Now, go to Matthew 12, 22 through 30. Mm-hmm. It says, there was brought unto him one possessed with a devil, blind and dumb. And he healed them in so much that the blind and the dumb both spake and saw. And all the people were amazed and said, is it not this the son of David? But when the Pharisees heard it, they said, this fellow do not cast out devils, but by Beelzebub, the prince of the devils. You see, they saying, he ain't casting out devils, he working with the what? Devils. But Yahushua said it like this. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation or nothing. So if the house is divided, what? It can't stand. That's what he's saying. And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is what? Divided against his own self. How then shall his kingdom stand? How can he able to stand if his own people fighting against him? So it can't. It's impossible. So they're all working what? Together. You see, he was all about setting people what? Free. So when he came into Jerusalem, at that time they was all under Caesar, right? King Caesar. Now he's trying to set the people free, but you see these Pharisees steady like, man, why you doing that? So he recognized that, y'all supposed to be on our side, but yet, who you with? Are you trying to set people free? Or are you trying to keep them what? Captive. So with that, he exposed that they was helping what? The government. So they wasn't setting anybody free, even though they call themselves Pharisees or preachers and teachers. But yet they were still right along with it. Always wanted to keep it in place. But Yahushua was like, that's not what I come to do. But they used to always question him for why change things? Now these are Pharisees. He said people who supposed to know the laws and rules of Yahweh. Supposed to know. But yet, you like it the way it is? You cool with it? Right? So you got to know some of them Pharisees were what? Demons. Trying to keep it in play. That's what it means. Seen by what? Angels. Because when they saw him, they were like, what are you doing? See, those were we talking about seen by what? Angels. Those were the Pharisees. They was watching them. Like, why are you trying to set people what? Free. Exactly. They was not right. And he understood it. He understood it. He said, so therefore, 27. And if he said, now if himself by Beelzebub cast out demons, by whom do your children cast them out? Then he said, if I am him and I cast out a demon, then if your children, which supposed to be Pharisees, talking about one day y'all gonna be walking around, your children, you're gonna enable your children to be able to cast out devils, right? Because you're gonna call your children what? Priests. So he's saying, but how your children gonna be able to cast out a devil? Because you swearing that I can't do it. But one day you're gonna, rear your children up to be able to, because you a Pharisee, you're gonna raise your child to be a what? Pharisee. And so when they cast out one, what you gonna tell them? That's what he's saying. That's the argument he's making. Therefore, when they do it, he's saying they shall be your what? Judges. Since you swear that it can't be done. Right? And then he's like, y'all supposed to be Pharisees and y'all don't never want to see nothing good come about. That's what he didn't understand about him. 28. But if I cast out devils by the Spirit of Yah, then the kingdom of Yah is come unto you. Meaning, but if I am able to do this, then just know that the kingdom has just what? Been presented to you. Because how am I able to have power to do so? Because he's telling you, I can't be using the devil's power because the devil already got y'all under what? Control. But if I'm setting one of y'all from under the control of him, then what type of power am I operating in? A greater power, exactly. That's why he says it with the next verse. He says, or else how can one enter into a strong man's house? See, how can somebody come into a strong man's house who got everything under his what? Control. And able to spoil his goods. How can he do that? He can't. You shouldn't be able to. Because he got everything under what? And under his, he says strong, so that means he's very strong. His strength is what's keeping everybody what? Under control. Which is that's that yoke, that's that spell. That's that power right there that he's using to keep them under his control. Like Herod, nobody move, nobody move. And everybody under him, because of the spell he has on them and the yoke, they not what? They ain't budging. But he says, if I'm able to remove just one of them from under him, then I must be what? Of a stronger, like he said, of a stronger what? Power. Right? Because we're not working together. That's what he's telling me. If I'm a devil like him, then when I see him have somebody under his control, I actually enjoy it. And I don't bother it. I don't rattle his what? Cage. I let it be. That's how I walk off. Turn the other cheek or turn the other eye. Act like I don't see it, right? Hands off. You'll see it a lot of times. You can see people under distress, and you'll see some people just walk completely off, act like they don't see it. Right? A man beating his woman. Another man will walk by and say, that's good for her. You see what I'm saying? See, that's one demon communicating to another demon saying, great job. Keep up the good work. You see, it's a big difference. Some people, when they see it happening, they actually commend the person for doing what they do. Saying, that's what I would do. So that's when he approached the Pharisees, were like, why are you trying to set these people free? Caesar, our friend. So you see, our demons don't bother other demon activity, do they? They don't. One demon see you got some activity going on, he ain't gonna bother. And when I say activity, I'm talking about keeping people what? Hostage. Captivity. That's the activity. How to possess a person. That's the activity. Okay? He says, so, 29, how else can you enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods? Spoil his goods means take his people what? Take the good ones from him. Goods. Those are the what? The goods, and this will represent who? The elect. Exactly. Because one thing I noticed about this walk, there's not one elect that was already just free. Every elect comes out of what? Captivity. So it has to be somebody who comes and rescues them out of that state. It's never that a person already just out of it. I ain't never met one yet that was just already out of it. Looking around like, yeah, I'm free. No, everything I ever seen, they was rescued out of captivity. And that was what made them a pattern of the elect. Patterned it after them. All right? He said, so except he what? First bind the strong man down, and then he will be able to spoil his what? House. So how does he bind him down? How do we bind the strong man down? With something stronger. Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you what is stronger. See, first of all, in order to understand Yahushua right here, you gotta understand this. How is, first of all, the strong man, what is his strength? That's the first thing you have to gauge. What is his strength? What is his holding power? What is he holding them with that they can't budge? And then you come to find out that what he's holding them with, the strong man, is fear. He has them under his control of what? Fear. So in order to bind a strong man who uses fear as his weapon and strength to hold people, then you have to hit him with what's stronger than him. Now we come to find out, you have to ask yourself, oh strong man, what is your fear? See, you got them fearing you, but the question to me is, what do you fear? And that was how Yahushua binded him. He binded him by his fear. And through his fear was how the elect was able to what? Escape. His fear caught up with him. By just the presence of Yahushua, the demon automatically get what? Scared. The rumor of him even coming, he gets scared. That's what he means when he says, how can you bind a strong man down unless you got to come with something stronger? Now, if he uses fear as his strength, only thing you can bind a strong man with that uses fear is what is his fear. Because his fear is what makes him powerless. Now, what is stronger than fear? Love. Exactly. So when Yahushua came to him, the strong man, he presented love. Which when the strong man seen love, he was afraid of it. He was afraid of it. And he ran. That was how Yahushua was able to free the elect. Through love. Because love is stronger than what? Fear. This is how you make demons scatter. Through what? Love. Because love is the strongest. There's nothing stronger than love because love has no what? So he found his weakness. Oh, you got what in you? Fear. Now, I'm going to present love because love has no what? So he was the stronger. Do you see that? Those under fear him because that's their ceiling. They can't get past fear. And the one who's putting the fear on them loves it because they can't beat him because everything under him is what? Under what? Fear. He's the fear bringer. So he brings the fear. That's why he's strong. He brings the fear. And so when he brings the fear, everything under him can't get past his ceiling. We can't get past him because we scared of him, right? We can't do nothing. But Yahushua comes with love, which is stronger than what? Fear. And so because of he's stronger, the fear bringer begins to crack. His ceiling begins to what? Crack. His armor begins to what? Crack. Because he ain't never felt that before. What is that? What is love? What is truth? He begins to question himself now. And in that moment, the elect is what? Like a thief in the what? Like a thief in the night. Because night is your fear. Nighttime is what? Remember I told you how the difference, what is day and what is night? So that you always remember. Let me refresh your memory. Daytime is what? Freedom. Nighttime is what? Captivity. You only can be held captive by what? Fear. So a thief removes you through what? Fear is how he can rescue you. Because all he has to do is present the fear of the person, the jailer that's holding you what? Captive. And trust me, that jailer gonna run. If the fear is big enough, the jailer gonna what? He ain't gonna stay and hold on to them slaves when he see something. Yeah, oh no. He gonna stand his post until he see that very thing that ain't, his fear, his worst fear. And trust me, he ain't guarding that door no more. He ain't gonna guard that door. Look, there's a lot of things that won't make him budge. It's a lot of things that won't make him budge. But what is stronger, what he fears, will make him what? Budge. What he fears. Right? So, now, because of that, the reason why they call them angels or demons, because remember I just showed you that they couldn't get past them, right? The strong man. Because of their fears. Now, because of their fears, he played into it. Now, because of their fears, he's able to hold them. So hold them will represent what they call a gatekeeper. Because he's the one keeping you in the what? In the gate. You got to get past who to get out? You got to get past him. So he now is the gatekeeper who holds all people under him captive. And like I said, he ain't moving from that post unless something what? Removes him. And what is the only thing that can remove him? His what? His fear. His fear is the only thing that can remove him. Hell has a fear. Death has a fear. The key to you is to find out what that fear is. But that's what you are very capable of doing. That's why the devil don't like you. Because you are capable of finding his fear. How do you know? Another example was when Jacob was wrestling the angel. You see? The fear came out of the angel. At first, the wrestling started because Jacob truly was scared of the angel at first. But as they begin to wrestle, Jacob began to notice he ain't just completely wiped me out yet. We still going neck and neck. Now, if he's truly stronger, as I initially thought when off first impression, by now I would have been, he would have just, thumped me somewhere, and that'd have been it for me. But how is it we still here what? Wrestling for ground? Because I thought he was clearly stronger as he approached me, being that he's an angel and I'm just a man. But yet, he couldn't completely just take me what? Down. And then, all of a sudden, when the day broke, he said, because he gathered him in the cover of the what? Night. Wrestling him with him in the middle of the what? The night. But as he seen morning begin to come, he told him what? Let me go. Let me go. So what the light was bringing to that angel?
Fear.
His fear. He knew what was coming. He knew what was coming. It was his fear. But Jacob didn't fear that, did he? Because he loved it, the what? The light. He's like, what? Run for what? And now the devil started saying, well, let me go, let me go. Then that father let him know. Now you begging me to let you go? A minute ago, you just jumped on me. But now you see how you beat him. Through what?
His fear.
His fear. But what did Jacob have in him that we all know he had? He had love. And that love began to conquer that fear. And that devil couldn't do anything about it at that point. You know, oh Lord, I'm in the now. I'm in over my head. Because I can easily play with him with guns or magic tricks, sorcery, witch, spells, Ouija boards. I can do that all day long with him and beat him down. But when he flipped the playing field and presented to him what he didn't have, then he was in over his head. The devil has children. But one thing you know about the devil and his children is that the devil doesn't have love in him. But the devil uses fear as his tactic, haven't he? The devil's whole tactic is about fear. But love is stronger than what?
Fear.
So if you want to understand that you are stronger than the devil, you just have to present to him what he's afraid of. He's afraid of you walking in love that has no what?
Fear.
Of him. And you're going to have to get to that point where you got to stop being afraid of him and his imps and his little demons, because they're actually more afraid of you because they know one day you will what? Wake up. And so they was always more afraid of you. That's why they had to constantly try to beat you down with what? Fear. Because they needed you to not wake up. So they had to constantly beat you like a hammer with fear. That's why they blasted on your TVs, blasted on the radio, blasted, make scary movies. They just want you to be in fear. Because that's their greatest strength. But we found out that there was a strength that was greater. And that's love. The devil cannot be love. The devil never knew love. And none of his children knows anything about love, right? We know they don't. And so that's how he was able to bind the strong man down. So the strong man was the devil who was holding people hostage. And then he spoiled his house. And then he says 30, he says, now, he that not with me is against me, and he that gather not with me, what? Scatters abroad. So what is he talking about right there? He's talking about what side of this are you on? Are you doing righteousness or not? And he said he's going to know it. Right? Okay. Moving on. Now, it was a question that was asked to me. The question was, well, I know you always talk about, Israel's people and them prospering and coming out of captivity. But what about the other races? What's the deal with them? Are they just done? It's over for them? It's a wrap? Well, I'm going to give you what was given to me so that you will have this. Now, this is the first beginning church that was created after the time of Yahushua passed, right? So go to Acts 9, 10 through 48.
Next one.
10 through 48. All right. Ten. Start at 10.
Yeah.
Did I say it right? Let me see. No. I'm sorry. It's Acts 10. Go one more chapter.
Acts 10.
Mm-hmm. All right. We're going to go down to, let's just start from 10. It's a very good one. All right. Now, there was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius. He was a centurion of the band called the Italian band. So he was from the what? Italian what? Band. So he's Italian. He's a devout man and one that feared Yah. Now, when they say it's Italian, trust me, he's not because there's no such thing as a Hebrew Italian. So we know that he's of another what? Race. I'll explain it to you so you can understand this. And they says too, he was a devout man and one that feared Yah with all of his house. Listen, which gave much alms to the people. Now he's giving alms to the who? Now who the people is? That's the Hebrews. So you see? He feared Yah with all of his house, and with his house he had gave much what? Alms to the what? To the people, and prayed to Yah what? Always. So he was one who was helping what? Israel. He was helping Israel. He saw in the vision, evidently, about the ninth hour of the day, an angel of Yah coming into him and saying unto him, Cornelius. And when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, What is it, Lord? He said unto him, The prayers and thy alms are come up for a memorial before Yah. Meaning what you have been doing, your prayers and your giving, your alms, your charity towards Israel has come up as a memorial before Yah. And when he looked on him, 5. And now send men to Joppa, and call for one Simon, whose surname is who? Peter. Now this is after Yahushua passed away. And he lodged with one Simon a tanner, whose house is by the seaside, and he shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do. And when the angel was spake unto Cornelius was departed, Cornelius called 2 of his household servants, and a devout soldier of them that waited on him continually, meaning they was his servants. And when he had declared all these things unto them, when he revealed what he just saw with the angel, he sent them to Joppa to go retrieve who? Peter. Because the angel just told him, I need you to go see Peter. Now on the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetops to pray about the 6th hour. And Peter became very hungry when he was up on the housetop. And he would have eaten, but while they was making ready the food, he fell into a what? A trance. So he had a what? A vision. And he saw heaven open, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the 4 corners, and it let down to the earth. So he's basically seeing a whole cloud, but the cloud opened up like a door, or like a ship door, opening, the door, wherein were all manners of 4-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creepy things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to Yah, speaking and saying, Rise, Peter, kill and what? Kill and eat. But Peter said, because he's of the Hebrew tradition, what did he say? No, says Yah, I have never eaten anything that is common or what? Unclean. I have never received nothing from another what? At all. Nothing that is considered common or unclean will I refuse. Because that meat ain't what? clean the heat. I won't receive him. And a voice spoken to him again the second time. And this is what Yah says. Yah says, what Yah has cleansed, thou call not thou common. Meaning you do not call, if I clean it, it's clean. If I clean it, it's what? But you know, this is at this time, he said all manners of folk for the beast. So, you know, there was probably some abominable things, like maybe some alligator, some turkey, not alligator, some frogs, you know, so he looking at me out, shrimps. He like, I don't eat none of that stuff. I don't fool with none of it. You know, he probably looking at pork, pigs coming out of there. Oh, Lord, people like, no, Lord, I ain't eating. And he was like, I know you're hungry, but slaying what? Eat. Now, stop right there. This is what the misinterpretation came from, where people started believing that the Hebrews could eat anything they wanted to off this vision right here. But that was not what the vision was represented at all. But a lot of people took this literal, saying, oh, well, Peter, he told Peter, eat anything that came down. Eat it. Y'all made it clean, so we can eat it. So that's when they started going off to eat everything, because they felt like now that was the open door invitation for them to eat anything they wanted to eat. But even you hear Peter was confessing that, no, according to my customs, according to the way I was raised and my culture, we don't what? Eat that stuff. So he was actually telling them that they don't what? Eat that type of stuff. That's what he was saying. He was like, I will not eat it. It's unclean. You know, we ain't been eating that, so why are you bringing me this stuff telling me to eat it now? That's how he looking at y'all like, what you doing? But y'all said what he cleansed, what?
It's clean.
It's clean. And this y'all did 3 times in the vision. And then the vessel was received up again into heaven, like it vanished. The vision vanished. 17. Now while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean. So this is the part they stopped at. Because all they heard was, oh, we can eat what?
Whatever.
See, all you got to do sometimes is just keep reading. Because he was trying to figure out what did it mean. But he's going to find out what it means. And it had nothing to do with some food. It had nothing to do with some food, right? Oh. Okay. All right. Verse 20 says, arise, therefore, and get down. No. What was 17? So now when Peter doubted in himself what the vision which he had seen should have mean, behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house and stood before the gate. They was looking for the house where they knew Peter was at. And he said it was at the gate. These are Cornelius men. They finally made it into the city looking for Peter, right? And they called and asked whether Simon, which was surnamed Peter, where he lodged at. 19. While Peter thought on the vision, the Spirit said unto him, behold, 3 men are looking for you. 20. Arise, therefore, and get thee down and go with them, doubting what? Nothing. For I have what? Sent them. Then Peter went down to the men which was sent unto him from Cornelius' house and said, okay, behold, I am he whom you looking for. For what cause, therefore, are you come? And they said, Cornelius the centurion, a just man, one that feareth Yah, and of a good report among all the nation of the Jews. Of a good report amongst all the nation of the what? What house is he from? Remember. What band he said he was from? The Italian band. He also said, but he has a good report amongst all the nation of the what? Was warned from Yah by an unholy angel to send for thee into his house and to hear the words of you. So then called he them in and lodged with them. And on the morrow, Peter went away with them, and a certain brethren from Joppa accompanied him. And the morrow after they entered into Caesarea, and Cornelius waited for them, and had called together his whole, kinsmen and near friends. So he brought his whole house, his whole family, all of his Italian family and friends. He brought them all to his house. Because they all wanted to hear what Peter was going to say. And as Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and worshipped him. But Peter took him up, saying, stand up. I myself also am just a what? So I'm telling you, so no angel ever let you bow to them. Only ones do are devils. I'm telling you now, these are the ones holding people captive. Because angels don't do that. They know only serve who? Yeah. They're gonna tell you that. Don't give me that worship. Give it to who? Give it to Yah. But anyone that will receive it, yeah. You know, like Jeepers Creepers when he get to looking up, rolling his eyes when he looking at the black boy and stuff. That's how they be wanting their worship like that. When he lick the glass and he wants you. But anyone that receive that type of worship, right? You see them licking the glass, no. They own something else. Okay. 27. And as he talked with him, he went in and found many that were come together. And he said unto them, you know how that it is unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company with people like you, or come unto one of another nation. You see? That's what Peter, that was division. It had nothing to do with food. He says, you know how it's not even not lawful for us to keep company with people of other nations. But you were just inviting me to your house, and you won't, for what purpose he trying to figure out. All right, here we go. What verse we at now? 28. All right, so he said it's not even lawful for us Jews to keep company or to come unto one of another nation. But Yah has shown me that I should not call any man common or unclean. That was division. It had nothing to do with food. Therefore came I unto you without gainsaying, meaning I ain't come here because I want something. That's another key. Remember, you don't come because you Because remember, he didn't want the man to even bow with his feet anyway. He was like, I only come because Yah told me to Right? So I didn't come here for you to kiss my butt, and I didn't come here to use this as an opportunity to say, well, what you supposed to give me then? Right? Yeah, don't be that. Don't be that one. Because trust me, these nations of people are going to come to you, but you got to know how to contain you in your house. You know what I mean? This is a discipline. You're going to need to learn this. Listen. Okay, let's go. And as soon as I was sent for, I asked therefore, for what intent have you sent for me? And Cornelius says, 4 days ago, he began to say, 4 days ago I was fasting unto this hour, and at the ninth hour I prayed in my house, and behold, a man, an angel, stood before me in bright clothing. And he said, Cornelius, your prayers is heard, and your alms that you have been given unto Jews in Israel are coming to remembrance in the sight of Yah. Send therefore to Joppa and call for Simon Peter. He is lost in the house of one Simon the tanner by the seaside, who when he cometh shall speak unto you. Immediately therefore I sent to retrieve you, and they has well done that they have brought you. Here you are come. Now therefore are we all present before Yah to hear all things that are commanded thee of Yah. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth, I perceive that Yah is no respecter of persons. But every nation, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. Every nation that does righteousness is Accepted by Yah. To answer that question, what about the other nations? he says clear that he says of no controversy, that they will have to what? Do righteousness. And he says it that he had to, they asked about it. See, this is something that you won't be able to just get in without having to do. I need y'all to understand. The word which Yah sent unto the children of Israel, preaching peace by Yahushua Mashiach, he is Lord of what? All people. And we know that. So if you do good, then Yah can what? Receive you. If you is of another nation. But the good ain't talking about good morning. But it said it has to be a clear-cut work that you have to have proved yourself in. It's an action. He said, now anyone of any other nation or race of people who understand that they have to do what is righteous towards Israel can and will be saved according to Yah. But there's no freebie pass. See, our problem is we give people passes and they ain't did what? Nothing. But he says it has to be that they have to have proof. Proof of what? Exactly. Proof of righteousness. It has to be proof of righteousness. That's what he said. According to all the people who were Jews who spoke on his behalf. Meaning they have received some of the stuff he was given out. So this one definitely is a help to what? Israel. So that's a clear cut for any other nation or race of people who didn't understand what is necessary, and it's not just no walk in the door type situation. It has to be, you have to have done righteousness. That's what he said. When Yah even visited him, he said that was what was in remembrance in the sight of Yah. He said his prayers and working what? Righteousness. Ain't that fasting what? See? So even for another nation of people, they have to still do it the same what? Because he is Lord of all. He can save a person that is out there who really is sincere about the faith, even if they is of another nation. Right? So that's what he was showing right there, that it was a clear cut that Peter said, being that they was building the first church, and the man said clearly that the dude, the Italian man, had a straight love for Israel. He did. He was genuine. Yah saw his heart. That he does care for Israel, and he does want to see Israel free, and he did everything within his what? House and power to what? To contribute to that cause. So I'm telling you now that you will be, this is the scary part, because there will be those who will come from other nations and races of people. But you do not be what? Deceived. Do not be deceived. They have to have works of what? Righteousness. That can be clearly seen, clearly made known. People should already be saying, oh, that one right there, we can vouch for that one. That one really does go out here to go about to do. Not no, oh, they say good morning every morning. What does that mean? But what have they done towards what? Righteousness. That's the judging standard. That's the one when Simon says, it's a no for me. That's how you have to be. It's a no for me if they don't have nothing to, you got to have something to judge them by. You can't just let them in and they ain't did nothing, because that the same one you just let in gonna be a problem. Because their heart was never what? Set on it. They just wanted to what? To get in. So you have to be careful, and even of your own, you got to be careful to just don't let the door open up to anybody who see. But it takes a lot of guts from him. That's why he says, love without what? Fear. You got to love Israel without fear, because it takes a lot of guts for him to help Israel out, knowing that season them still what? Watching. And him still to make those sacrifices towards Israel, even though he know that if he was to get caught, or what it might cost him and his family, to know how they say, ooh, that's a nigger lover. Right? Exactly. As a nigger lover. He's helping them. But Yah says that is what they have to do. And it won't be no free pass, because remember, we said nobody is greater than the master. He had to go through that hard fight to get in too. Even his showing his love towards Israel had Yahushua what? Crucified, didn't it? So you're going to get some backlash for helping what? Israel. And that's the bravery part. That's the bravery part that y'all needs to see. Love without what?
Fear.
Right. You say you love them, why you worried about what's going to happen to you if you love a person? So that's how Yah says, when you approach Israel, you approach them with love. That's why he told Moses, take your shoes off for what? You're on holy ground. Approach them with love, and love what? Only. Right? But if you got fear, you worry what other people gonna say, nobody, and let me give you this discipline too. Now, I'm not telling you to go off into them and marry them just because they done bought you a McDonald's burger. That is not enough for you to say, oh, okay, well, I'll marry him because he bought me a burger and fries.
Because if they don't put cheese on it.
Right. Is that really righteous because he bought you one little burger? That doesn't prove what? Nothing. It has to be a consistency thing. And that's what you have to look for. Because remember, just like that strong man, you are not a strong man. You are not the gatekeeper. You say who gets in and what? Who don't get in. How do you know? Let's go to Matthew 16, 18 and 19. All right. What he said, what does he tell Peter? He said, but I say unto thee, thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my what? See, this is how it is built. And he said, and the gates of hell shall not what? Prevail against it. And I give you the keys of the what? Kingdom of heaven. He's the gatekeeper. And whosoever you shall bound on earth shall be what? Bound in what? Heaven. And whoever you shall loose on earth shall be loosed in what? So he's telling Peter, in these days, he's talking to those that are of Israel, that are the elect. By this means, you are the gatekeeper. Who you bound on earth can't get in. But who you accept can get in based on what though? He's giving you the qualifications. You can't let nobody in that ain't did what? Exactly. Because that's when Yahushua, when he comes into that temple, he's going to look. And then if he get to turn over money tables and stuff, talking about you done turn my house into a den of what? Then it's on you. Because you done let the wrong people what? In. These meaning the hasty ones, the anxious ones. You can't be anxious with Yah. That get you kicked out. Because anxious means you got fear. And anxious means you don't know how. You know why Yah calls them cowards? Why you think Yah calls anyone a coward or a punk? The truth. Not because people talking about, people say it, they say, oh, you're a punk because you scared. That's what they'll say on earth. But that doesn't qualify for a punk in heaven. You know why Yah calls people punks? Because you're just afraid to do what the Bible tells you to what? To do. That's what makes you a punk.
Your fear.
Your fear. You're just afraid to do what the Bible telling you to do. You feel this and fear that, but if I do this and if I do that, what he said, but love has no what? Fear. And that is what people are afraid to do. See, the word of Yah is like a plant. That's why he called it a mustard seed. It's like a seed, it's a plant. Because once the word has been planted in the earth, so that plant, that mountain ain't going what? Nowhere. So us, we have to gravitate to it and what? Hold on to it. Hold on means to what? Do it. If you do it, you're going to continue on because you holding on to the very thing that will continue on. See that? Because that plan ain't what? It ain't going nowhere. That's why when I lay in Zion a stone, I put it right there, and ain't nobody, everything else gonna come and go. But this ain't going what? So that type of level of righteousness, he's telling you, you a punk because if you won't gravitate and you won't hold on to this thing that I told you, this right here is gonna be for your life. I've given you the words for your life. That's the plan. I say, you do this, you shall live. But everyone got what? Scared. I ain't gonna do it. I'll figure out another way. But every other way you do it to try to go around that way is called sin and fear. Because what do you fear to do? Just do what you're told to do. It was simple. He said, children, obey your mother and father for your days what? Will be, see, that what it means. All you had to do was just do it. But like I told you, people are afraid to do it. That's one thing I found out. The Bible is like a plant. It's not going anywhere. People coming and going and dying and passing out and stumbling all around it because they're trying to figure out other means to do it. Instead of that one planted way that if you would just do it, you would have been saved. You wouldn't have had to do nothing else. But people say, it can't be that easy. I got to figure this out. Let me figure that out. Let me figure this out. Let me do that. And that's why he told the two sisters. Remember, he said, one is just chose to just do what? What I just tell them to do. Sitting there, I'm just going to just do what I say. That was it. I give you a way out. That's that plan. I give y'all all this one way. Righteousness is the plan. It ain't moving. It's the tree that ain't budging. He said, until every knee bow, what? And every tongue confess. So you're going to fall, but it's going to still stand strong. Has stood strong and it's still standing strong. And he said, it don't care what nation, race, creed, gender you are. You ain't getting out of this. You're not going to find another way around it. But the people who gravitate to this rock, who hold on to it, he said it's like a person who built their house upon a rock. You see? And the winds came, water came, flood, and they didn't what? There you go. Because once the word of Yah, you won't budge. If you hold on to it, you just like that rock. It's not going to budge, so you don't budge. See, when you climb this mountain, you ain't got to worry about moving. Because it cannot be what? Moved. Because it has no what in it? So it cannot be moved. Love cannot be moved. Love for Israel cannot be what? Moved. Because Yah has already what? Spoken it. That all the world had to do what? Righteousness towards who? Israel. So it's not going to budge. He said, my word comes out and it doesn't come back what? Exactly. So it's not going to change. And so once you learn to hold on to that rock, like, okay, you ain't changing, I can't what? Change. So he says, this is the keys. Who you bind, they can not make it. Because you know that they haven't done nothing what? Righteous. But whom you see that are doing righteous, you can give them that peace. Those can come in. Give me a sec. But talk to you, man. Go outside. All right. So we know that that's what he says. The gates of hell, meaning those other gatekeepers will not be able to what? Prevail against your gate, because your gate is made of what? Love and righteousness. Now, whatever manipulating tricks and masteries and magic tricks they got going on will not be able to push through your gate and overtake you and your people. So everybody behind your gate, they what? Safe. They've been spoken for. righteous, justified. Anything on the outside of that gate ain't been what? And ain't been cleared. According to what? Righteousness. And you can't just let them in because, oh, I just feel so sorry for them. That ain't how it works. It's not how it works. They have to genuinely put in their works, just like anybody else would have to. That's why he said, Yah is not a respecter of what? Persons. That's what he means when he says he's not a respecter of persons, that anyone can get out of this. Right? That's what he said. Everyone will have to participate in this if they want to enter in. And you being the gatekeeper, you have the opportunity to say yay or what? Nay. That is judgment. Yay or nay. Right? That's why he says some people come bamming at the door talking about, yeah, I did this in your name. I did that in your name. I seen you down my streets. I seen you teaching and preaching down my way. He said, yeah, I know. But I never knew you. See, because no one's speaking up for you. There's nobody to say you did anything out here. And then number one, two, if I have talked, you didn't listen. So what you telling me? I know what I said. Have you done your part? So it's still going to be a matter of did you do righteousness? You can always say that, well, I heard this and I heard that, but the Yah said you got to be a doer of the word and not a what? Just a hearer, right? So it doesn't work like that. You have to put in your works too. So for all other nations, they will still have to put in their work too. No one's getting in this thing for free. They will have to put in works of righteousness. And I need y'all to know that, and that's the discipline you have to have. I know how you, I feel bad for them. I know they ain't did nothing, but I just feel bad for them. Okay? You just know what you just invited into your house. A whole what? Demon and a whole devil. And now you done, right, and you done plagued your own. That's why he said a man don't love his own wife, don't love his own what? Self. Because he's telling you, your wife represents your house. So, you bring in, you gonna let anybody talk to your wife? No. You gonna let anybody just, approach her? Right? That would mean a man don't love his own wife, don't love his own what? Because she represents his house. Right? And he's supposed to nurture her, protect her, right? Keep her clean, keep her right. Clean means don't let no dirtiness enter into her mind. Don't let no fear what? Enter in. Keep her what? From that. That's the whole point. You keep her from those demons and devils. That's what a man's supposed to do for his house. You hear me? You are the protector of your house. You are the gatekeepers. You don't just let anybody in your house and talk to your kids. And come on now. Because when they corrupt your house, then it's because you let them what? You let them in. So you have to be careful. You got to be disciplined in who you let in. And they have to, well, let me tell it like this. It's not even really up to you. Let me give you that part. That way you know for sure that it don't work like that. It ain't even up to you. This is a whole Yah thing right here. Remember, he says, Yah, who brought Cornelius to Peter? Who brought Cornelius to Peter? Yah did. It was Yah. See, they had nothing to do with what? Peter. They just requested to speak to Peter. See, Yah, that's why he says, you can water, one waters, one plants the seed, but it is Yah who gives the what? Increase. See, it ain't got nothing to do with you. They gonna come on their own. See, Peter never was begging them. He wasn't sitting on their corner, man, y'all, please come, But he just continued doing what he does, right? In righteousness. And guess what? The angel told them, y'all need to go talk to him. And he said that they was led by the Spirit to come talk to him. And not only did they come to talk, so yeah, it wasn't Peter who led them to him. He wasn't out there being beggarly. He was not out there asking for anything from anybody. But they came what? To him. And he was hungry, wasn't he? Didn't they say he was on the rooftop hungry? But he said, I will not eat no what? Unclean thing. So it was not him who brought that to himself. That's hasty. That's what I mean by being anxious. He was hungry, true enough, but when it was time for him to eat, who brought him some people? Yah did. That's how it works. That's how it works. It's not for you to go out there and go try to find people for your house. No, let them people come what? There you go. And they will. And they always come in appointed seasons. Everyone, whoever will be of Yah, Yah will bring them. And he doesn't bring them every day. It's an appointed time, they would say, with Yah. It's not you to say, I want this and I want it now. It's not of you that's going to make it just come about just because you want it to come about. When Peter was hungry, it was of Yah who brought it to him. Yah brought him what he was going to have to receive. Right? So I'm going to need y'all to understand that. That's the discipline. Same way Peter had that discipline. And then when he did go to their house and invited to their house, he said he didn't go in with gainsaying. He didn't go over there talking about, well, what y'all got for me? Yeah, what y'all gonna hook me up with? And then let me pull out this Christmas list. Right? Of all types of stuff you want. Nah. It's whatever they would decide they want to what? Do for you, that's cool. That's cool, but you don't never make them demand them. They have to do what? Anything. All right? All right, let's move on. All right. So we know that it comes that way. Because this is what you come to understand. You don't want to never approach Yah empty-handed. Right? Go to Galatians 3. Galatians 3. Yes. It says, "O foolish Galatians, who bewitched you that you should not obey the truth? Before whose eyes Yahushua Mashiach has been evidently set forth, crucified amongst you. This is only what I have learned of you. Did you receive this spirit by the works of the law or by the hearing of what? Faith." So the hearing of faith is that you got to be told that something is coming. You just can't just go out and what? Take it. See, that's what we say faith come about hearing by what? The word of Yah. Peter was on that roof. He was hungry, true enough, but he did not just go run out trying to find somebody begging people to feed him. He wasn't. Now, I'm a preacher. Please feed me. No. But Yah gives the increase, so Yah sent them people what? To him. See, that's how you know. It comes in what they call an appointed time. There's going to be a time when you need it the most, but that's when it'll come. Yah, he said, Yah might not always come when you want them, but Yah's always what? On time. So that was an on time moment for Peter. Because he was sitting up there hungry as it was. But he said, I'm not going to eat none of this. So I don't eat nothing unclean. But Yah said, well, what I have, what, clean is clean. Meaning, if I put it in their hearts to be this, then I have already cleaned them up. I cleansed them. They are acceptable. They are acceptable because I made them already have a heart for me. So you good. And he says he didn't gainsay, like pull out the Christmas list and say, okay, well, since y'all come to my house, look, I got all this stuff I want for Christmas. Yeah, because I'm miserable. Right? It ain't like that neither. But whatever they decide to do out of their heart, right, that is how it's received. So whatever they decide to do for Peter that moment, that's what he received. He didn't never ask for anything more. But all he said was what? Thank you. Right? That was it. Not that, man, I thought, man, this is a 2005. I want to, yeah, it ain't like, see, yeah, y'all know. Come on now. Is it about what you just received, or is it about saving what? So, see, that's when you got to go back to that. I would say it's a discipline to it. What is the ultimate goal here? Is it about what you're going to get out of it? Or is it just the ultimate goal that they are finally learning, grasping hold of the truth, and that they're doing it? What is the true goal? What is the true goal? That's a heart check. What is the true goal? We know that the true goal that he said, the first shall be last and the last shall be what? Treated what? First. So treated with what? Dignity. First class, they would call it. You know how they do when you roll on first class? You know, everything they wine and what? Dine you on first class. That's what he means. The last shall be first and the first shall be what? See, you came in it first, you was winding and dining into it. Now, when it's your turn, you last now. Stop thinking it's all about you now. And what? Yeah, wine and dine them. Because they Israel. Same thing. Love them. That's what love means. You know, bless them. You know, comfort them. Right? Because they come from a place where they didn't never know of that. So when they come into Israel, that's what that place is supposed to be, a place of what? Peace and paradise. Right? So, and you provide that. Hallelujah. That's what it's for. That's what he means. The gates of hell won't prevail against that gate because your gate is stronger than what they got going on any given day, because love is stronger. That's what people want. They want a place where they can come to and rest. Not a place where they have to come to and now they got to work harder. Right? They didn't come out of having a struggle to just get put in some more what? Struggles. Right? Yah said you should be rewarded for diligently seeking the truth. That's how it works. Not cursed for seeking the truth. You sought the truth, now it's going to be hard. Oh, no, we're going to crack some whips now. You here now. That's how like that movie Terry from the Hood. You came for the stuff. You going to get the stuff. But he definitely was deceiving, right? He gave him the stuff. But that ain't what they come for. Not at all. But they got the stuff, old man. Mm-hmm. All right. So then this. So, are you foolish, having begun in the spirit, or you're not made perfect by the what? Flesh. So he's explaining. He says, okay, when you first came into this, was you having to do this and do that when you came to at first? No. Faith came about what? Hearing. You was given some instruction, and the instructions was do righteousness. And that's where y'all left it at that. But if you find yourself getting trapped into a situation where this person want to start cracking rules and laws and where all that come from? Right? Faith is this. Yah will give you the instructions like he did Cornelius' house. You know, bless Israel. And he went about to bless Israel. And in due seasons, because he continues to bless Israel in Thanksgiving, Yah always what? In due season, you keep praying and fasting, and Yah gonna give you a what? A blessing. For you and your what? House. And you just continue that process. You don't never have to stop that process. Because once that wheel is turning, just keep the wheel what? Good turning. Okay, every time I go, I do righteousness and serve in this fasting. Y'all gonna what? Bless me when the time is what? needed. See, that's the thing. That's patience. That's discipline. But that's how it works for Yah. He loves that moderation, that you ain't greedy, that you ain't selfish, that you ain't anxious for nothing. And it teaches you a discipline within yourself to learn how to have a good balance of what you need, a good mindset to not, even though you have everything at your disposal, but to not be wasteful, right? Appreciate things, because if it took a little while to get it, you sure appreciate it once you do get it. It teaches you how to what? Work for things, doesn't it? Because that's what he's showing you. Faith without works is what? So he's showing you that you got to work for some things you got to work for. And don't you savor it if you get a reward for the things that you worked it for. And then you will learn how to what? Appreciate it. And then you begin to see the value of it. You see what I'm saying? All these things are done within this faith we call faith. It definitely makes a well-rounded person out of you. That's why he said, but many people are what of it? They're plant. Afraid of it. That's what they're afraid of. And Yah said, that's a coward to him. If I speak these words to you and give you words of life and you refuse to gravitate and grab hold of them, then you are a coward. You are the coward. Because you're afraid of the truth. That's what you're afraid of. And you try to find every excuse and every other way out from it. But just doing what is righteous. Right? All right. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy 16, 13 through 17.
Deuteronomy 16.
Mm-hmm.
And what?
13 through 17. Now, let me let you know now. Don't ever get caught like this, because they got what they call days of visitation. These are the days that Yahushua comes and checks you out. Right? These are times of your blessings. Let me tell you how you best not be caught like this. It says, thou shalt observe the Feast of Tabernacles 7 days. After that, thou hast gathered in thy corn and thy wine, right? So you done gathered in your food. The corn represents your bread. And you know the wine, and you done gathered. You done had, it was a season when you gathered them in, and you just got you a nice, fresh little blessing, right? And it says, and thou shalt rejoice in thy feast, thou and thy sons and your daughters and maid servants and your men servants and the Levites and the strangers and the fatherless and the widows that are within thy gates. So your household, right? Mm-hmm. And those that are of your household. So meaning when Yah blesses you, you must what? Bless them with it. Exactly. You like example, like when I make groceries, right? When I bring in groceries for what? Right. So within that, and it says, so 7 days thou shalt thou keep a solemn feast unto the Lord thy Yah in the place which Yah has chosen, which is going to be your house, because Yah shall bless thee in all thy increase. So Yah will continue to bless that in increase. And in all the works of what? Thy hands. Therefore thou shalt surely rejoice, because it's going to be a work to it, right? Much as you give, as much as you what? Receive. 3 times in a year shall all thy males, 3 times in a year shall all the males of that house appear before Yah in the place which he chooses, in the feast of unleavened bread. What is unleavened bread at this point? Fear. Fear. Don't get caught with what?
Fear.
Because you got to be loved. Because leaven represents fear. You can't have it. He said your bread has to be what? Unleavened. Meaning it can have no what in it? No fear in it. So don't be scared to give. That's what he's telling you. And in the Feast of Weeks, and in the Feast of Tabernacles, and listen, keep, thou shalt not appear before the Lord what? Don't never appear before Yah what? Empty-handed. Don't appear before Yah what? 17, every man shall give as he is able. This is what he's talking about, the empty-handedness. According to the blessings of the Lord thy Yah, which he has given you. So he's telling you, empty-handed is that you have so much, but you don't what? You don't give nothing. To Yah, that's coming to him what? Empty-handed. All right. As you can clearly see. Now go to Matthew 22, 1 through 14. So we need to find out what this empty-handedness is. Matthew 22, 1 through 14. It says, and Yahushua spoke unto them this parable and said, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king which made a marriage for his what? Son. So when he's making a marriage, he's definitely going to have a dinner. So it's talking about a wedding, right? A wedding, so it's going to have everything. And he sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not what? Would not come. So he's talking about them commandments. I put out here these commandments, but y'all acting real what? Scared. I gave you a word. You don't want to what? You don't want to do it. That's what they're talking about. They don't want to come. They don't want to receive it. And again, he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which were bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner. See? Prepared this dinner meaning I have given you, what is the marriage anyway? Who's the son, first of all? That's Yahushua. And the king is Yah. So he's giving a marriage to his son. He's telling you he's going to unite him with his what? Bride, which is his what? People. But he's going to give the stipulation. So he sent. He said, behold, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatlings are killed. And all things are already what? Ready. So he's telling them, come unto the marriage. It's meaning join it by what I have already what? Put on the what? Table. I mean, I've already put the plant there. I already put the word there. I already given y'all what I wanted y'all to do. It's already there. And that was going to unite you and bring you to the marriage. I've given you what you needed to do. It's right there. That we said, I've already prepared. I prepared my dinner already. I have already oxen. I have killed my families. They already killed with an ED. All things are already what? Ready. There's nothing more you needed to what? To do. I have provided you everything to make it into this kingdom. I have given you already the stipulation. Right? That's what he's saying. I've already put it on the table. But 5 says, but they made light of it and went their own way. See, they said it, like the sisters trying to figure things out on their own. He's already just said, I just laid it out what I wanted y'all to do, and that would have got you inside the marriage. That would have made you that you enter into the kingdom of heaven. I've laid it out, but he said they heard it, made light of it, and said, but nah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Remember how he says they scared of the what? The word. They're afraid to what? Just do it. That's what you're going to see. A lot of people, the fear is that they're just afraid to do. The word of y'all been here well before we was born. And it's going to be here well after. That's what he means, the plant. It's been here. What we needed to do always been here. But when now we make light of it and start trying to figure out our own paths. And that's how you become lost sheep. Because you have lost your what? Your way. Because the way was already presented. You just let people tell you they ran you off from the way. Who you thought ran you off from the way? The devil. Same way he made Adam and Eve bite the apple. Remember, he'd already gave them commandment what they needed to do. Stop. And so, but he came and said, that's it? That's all you got to do? Surely no. But if you bite this apple, see, he done added something to it. That wasn't there. That was not the stipulation of becoming gods, was it? Had nothing to do with it. But he added that stipulation, and in return, they ended up having to go to heavy labor, didn't they? Now they got to do all types of work, not just to eat and try to make it into heaven now. He said, they're going to sweat in your brow, you curse the hair, but all that, you're going to labor pains. But at first, he laid a stipulation on the table and said, this is all I want y'all to do. But the devil always adds more to it. We said, don't add nothing to it or what? Don't take nothing away from it. But the devil always what? Adds to it and takes things away. So they made light of it, and they went their own ways, meaning try to figure out their own way into what? To enter into what? The kingdom of heaven. One to his farm, another to his own merchandise. And the remnant took his servants who preached and taught that one way. Remember he said, I am the door? That's that way. He said, I am the truth, the light, and the what? And the way. Did he say that? Yeah. And he said, but the remnant took his servants, which are the prophets, and entreated them spitefully and killed them. But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies. Listen, he sent forth what?
His armies.
And destroyed those who?
Murder.
And burnt up they what? See, those days, them gatekeepers. Then he said unto his servants, the wedding is ready now. But they which were bidden were not worthy, right? Because they didn't want to gravitate to the word. Go ye therefore into the highways, as many as you shall find, bid them to this marriage. Offer them this same what? The same door. See, I mean, he said going to what? Then he said, so the servants went out to the what? Highways and the hedges, right? And gathered together as many as they found, both bad and what? Why he say bad and good? Because he knows that y'all come from a lot of different extremes. But it's still going to be one door for everybody. That way say both good and bad. Because we all got the same door to go into. You can start off good, but you can start off bad. But it doesn't matter. At this point, it's about, did you do what?
Righteous.
There you go. That's the door. So from what extreme you came from, that didn't matter. It's just a matter of once you do hear the word, did you what? Did you do it? That's it. Because you know, some of us didn't hear the word then. We just not hearing it. But now it matters because you heard it. He said, my word goes out and it don't come back what? So somebody going to gravitate to my word and begin to what? To do it. And the wedding was furnished with guests. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw that there was a man which had not owned a what? A wedding garment. See, he didn't even have on. Now we got to explain what that wedding garment is. And he said unto him, friend, how camest thou in here not having on a wedding garment? And the man was what? Speechless. So then, remember I just told you what he said, don't come to Yah when he come, don't come what? He was caught what? But we're going to see what he didn't have. That's why he said, you didn't have on one of these. Then so the king said to the servant, bind him hand and foot and take him away and cast him into the outer what? Darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of the teeth. For many are called, see? But few are what? Chosen. It's going to be few. Because meaning everyone called to do it. Chosen means elect. But how many will become elect? How many would be elected? Now, the wedding garment. Go to Revelation 19, 7 through 9. And we're going to come back to Revelation 19 again, too. But for right now, I just want to get this one out here. He says, Revelation 19, what verse I say?
7.
7 through 9. Yeah, okay. And he says, so let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is what? Come. See, this is that same ordeal. It's in Revelation. See it? That same marriage for the Son. The Son, the Lamb and the Son is the same word. And his wife has made herself what? Because remember, he was going to go marry him anyway. See, the wife that was supposed to join with him, who you think he's talking about? That's us. That's the what? The elect. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean, and what? That's that wedding garment. That he just said, we asked that man, where was your wedding garment at? Why you ain't got one on? And he says it. For that linen, for somebody asked, well, what does that linen mean? Not to be empty-handed. What does it say? For the fine linen is the what? Righteousness of the saints. So don't caught with y'all being empty what? Handed. Because you have to present what? Righteousness. You got to present proof. That's how you get in. Watch this. Go to Luke 19, 1 through 27. And Yahushua entered and passed through Jericho. And behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus, which was the chief among the publicans. See, he was working for the government, and he was rich. He was an accountant. And he sought to see Yahushua, who he was. And he could not for the press, because they say Yahushua coming down this street where he lives, but he can't, so many people gathering, he can't get a chance to see him. But he said because of the press. Because he was a little what? Little of what? Stature. So that means he was kind of a short man. So he couldn't see. It's a lot of people coming. Yahushua coming down that street, right? But he can't see him because a lot of people, gathering up. It's a crowded. And so Zacchaeus, he ran before and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him. For he knew he was about to pass that way. Yahushua. And when Yahushua came to the place, he looked up and saw him. And he looked and saw Zacharias and said unto Zacharias, Zacchaeus, make haste and come down, for today I must abide at thy house. So Yahushua acknowledged him. He said, come. 6. And so he made haste and came down and received Yahushua what? Joyfully. I know that was a good moment for him. And when they saw it, they all murmured. Everybody, all the crowd that was there, who he supposed to be? Why he why he fooling with him? Why he say he gonna stay at his house? Out of all people he could have chose, right? Listen. And so they all murmured and complained, saying that he was gone to be a guest with a man that is a sinner. Who ain't gonna let him? He works for the government. How you gonna fool with him? He a sinner. And Zacchaeus stood and said unto Yah, behold, Lord, what did he say? The half of my goods I have given to the what? And if I have taken anything from any man by false accusations, I have what? Restored him fourfold. Right there, what is he proving?
Righteous.
He's showing that I got mine. He didn't come what? Empty-handed. He letting them know that I heard you. I've been out here doing my best. I have done everything you commanded. Here's my righteousness to prove it, to show my receipt of it, that I've been out here. They might call me whatever they're going to call me, sinner or whatnot, whatever. It don't matter. But you see, here's my what? Proof. Here is my proof. And Yahushua said unto them, this day is what? Salvation come to this house. For as much as he is now what? A son of what? Abraham. He is now what? An elect. For the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was what? Lost. See? He was a lost sheep. He was what? One of the elect. And he proved it by what? Having his receipt of proof that he'd been out here doing righteousness. So they can say what they want. But I'm telling you, every time I met Yahushua, when he met somebody, they had proof. They had proof. Remember, I just wrote Cornelius. He had what? Proof. He said, I've been out here. The Jews can speak for me. And they like, yeah, he been out here. He was from Italian, but he said, yeah, he been out here helping us out, Israel. He's been helping. So trust me, you can't let nobody in as a gatekeeper that has not provided to you what? By what? By proof. By proof. They have to have the proof. Because y'all ain't going to come to you right away. That's how they won't get out of it. It ain't like you going to do it today and he going to come tomorrow. No. See, that's what faith is. That's what patience is. See, y'all ain't gonna come that first day. Because anybody can start off good. That's the rabbit and the turtle, right? Anybody can start off good today. It's okay, I'm gonna do here. You can have this, you can have that, you can have this. Like last holiday when she started giving away because she about to die. And so she was, giving away her stuff. Yeah, anybody can do that the first day. But y'all ain't gonna come that first day. Then the second day, you said, okay, yeah, I'm just, he ain't came, okay, but I'm gonna do it again. Okay, here y'all go, here, this for you, this for you, this for you. Yahushua coming in a minute. And then that third day hit. Okay, here you go, and here you go, and yeah, all right, I guess I can. And then that fourth day, you're like, don't you owe me something? No, I don't know. I think you owe me. Let me check my books. Yeah, let me make sure you don't owe me something. See how it is starting to change? Because you thought he was going to come what? When you wanted him right away, anxious. But that's how Yah does it, though. See, that's the test of faith.
But he knows your heart.
He knows your heart. So he's not going to come right away for the sake of making sure you stay on what? Task. Because faithful people going to stay on what? Task. That's what the turtle represents. Patient, but steady. Consistent. He said the race ain't given to what? The fastest. It ain't given to the strongest. It ain't given to the one who comes what? First. Like Esau. It ain't because you came out first is automatically here. You going to have it all. No. Y'all going to test it. Give you a little time. Maybe make things get kind of dry. Maybe let your cup go all the way to the last little drop. And now it's time to say, okay, now you still going to be that cheerful giver? You still, this might be it. If I get this last drop, I ain't going to have nothing left. I got down to the last drop of Kool-Aid. Lord, what I'm going to do? If I get this last drop to the Israel, they're going to be cool, but then I'm going to be thirsty. So what I'm going to do with this last drop? Right? And then it's when you give that last drop, then Yah comes. You see? Because that's how Yah does it. Because Yah don't want you to have what they call an overabundance anyway. So he's going to make you exhaust a lot, then come and what? Bless. But remember, don't come what? That. Because he's going to come upon a lot of people. That's why he said the rulers of this world will be what? Judged. Kings and why? Because they have so much at they what? At they disposal that they have not what? Given out. They ain't restored. They ain't gave out nothing. So that's the same thing is equivalent to coming to Yah what? Empty-handed. Because he's going to say, I thought I told you to give up some of that stuff. And you're going to be like, well, I tried. That's why it's in the second one that he shows it when he gave out the talents. Remember? He said he passed out every man talents. And then one went and hid it. Say, and he got on him. Let's go to that. It's even the same verse. It's in 19. Let's go down to 20. Well, let's start at 18. That way you can get a kind of understanding. See, the second one came saying, Lord, thy pound have given 5 pounds. So he said, you gave me what? 1? I done turned it into what? 5. So he said he done went out there and used it, right? So he did what he was commanded. And you see, he got 5 in return. I mean, he didn't save 5 what? Souls. He didn't redeem 5 elect. Through righteousness. He freed 5 elect. And he said unto him likewise, now be thou also over 5 cities. So the reward of that is that he ended up returning with what? 5 cities he's over now. See how that gate got real big like that? Remember he told Peter, I give you the keys. Who you let in is good, who you don't. So now he's over 5 cities now. Still doing the same process of righteousness. You just gotta continue on in it. Don't give up, because the wheel, like a snowball, this gets what? Bigger and bigger and bigger if you just continue in it. He says, but what does he says about 20? He says, in another case, saying, Lord, behold, here is your pound, which I have kept laid up in the napkin. For I fear thee, because thou art a very austere man. Thou takest up that thou laidest not down, and reapest that you didn't even sow. And he said to him, out of your own mouth will I judge you now, you wicked what? Servant. Because you knew that I was an austere man, meaning a very, austere means he's a man of what? You reap what you what? As much as you give in, I'm going to what? So that's what, so he's very balanced in that. He the one talking about scales. Scales of what? Judgment. He weights out your good versus your what? Bad. So that's what he said. I know that's the type of man you are. And he's like, you gonna say it out your own mouth that you know that if you would have did good, then I would have what? Gave you some good. But since you didn't do no good, because you didn't, your sins what? Outweighed it. You messed up. He says, so you taking up that I laid not down, and I reap where I do not even sow. Meaning, if I would have gave you this, you would have went to reach one soul, but then in return, you probably could end up reaching what? Way more souls than you even intended. That's how Yah says. You might be going after one, but I in return can still use that one to gather what? 5. Meaning I can reap while I have not what? Sown. I can go in one direction, and I can take everything in the backwash of it all. See, you can save one, but I can save many. With that one. That's what I mean. I can reap while I have not even sown. Because I can hear you talking to one person, and then that person behind you can overhear that and can get saved off that same word that you intended it to be to that other person. See, that's how y'all word works if you don't hide it. You can be talking to one person, then you can save a person over there that you was not even intending to save. That what it mean. Reap where you have not what? Sown. So he said, wherefore you should have wherefore then gave us not thou my money into the bank. That's an exchange. Remember I talked to y'all a lot about communications. You see, he has money. He's supposed to deposit it into the what? To the bank. That's the people. Bank also represents a bank of water that represents the body. He's telling you, if you would have deposited my word, my righteousness into them, you would have had reaped some elect. But you didn't. You kept it to your what? Self. You hid it because you was what? Scared. At that my coming, I might have required of my own with usury. Usury meaning interest. And he said unto them that stood by, take from him the pound and give it to him that has 10 pounds. And they said unto him, Lord, he already got 10. And he said unto you, that unto everyone which have shall be given. And from him that have not done what he supposed to do, even that what he has shall be what? Taken what? From him. But those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring them hither and slay them what? Before me. These are the interferers. He says, slay them before me. Right? So as you can see right there, righteousness is something that you have to do. It's like money with Yah. That's his word. He already put it on the table. You used his word. It can reap the elect because they only can hear by love, right? All right. Okay, I guess we got that part out the way. All right. This brings me into my next word. Congregation. What?
Congregation.
Congregation. That's another word. Another word. Another word. Congregation.
Congregation.
Now, when I ask you of congregation, what you think congregation means?
Yeah, I can't say the word right. It's like a gathering of people.
A gathering of people.
Like, that big old table.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Well, you got anything you want to add? Okay. Actually, let me explain to you what the congregation is. Congregation represents the elect, which we knew that. But this is what you didn't know. These are the ones that are elected by Yah. That was what made them a congregation in the first place, because all of them are elect. All of them. How did they become elect? Because they was all given that same opportunity, and they came through what? Righteousness. And when did they come through? Did they all come through at one time? No. Because he says, you will bear fruit. I have ordained you to bear fruit at appointed times. So it does not come. So when you went to these churches, seen all these people up in there, and they say, we the congregation, they lied. Because congregation comes with a steady pace. Like he said, you gave me one, I turned it into 5. But that's over time. It doesn't come all in one what? Why? You don't, that's why I said a man can't have many wives. You get that? Because they all don't come like that. And think of Yah says too, another clue. Because one time somebody asked Yah, he said, why don't you just gather all your elect right now today? He said, because all of the elect, but according to the earth, the world, everyone ain't born the same day. Huh? They're not all born. He said, because think of a pregnant woman. How many babies can she have at one time? She can have a few, but she can't have billions at one time. Her belly will bust. Ain't no way. So he has to what? Spread them what? She has to spread her births what? Out. Think about a woman. Does she have all her babies at one time? Then all y'all come out at one time. Huh? Boy, your mama boss say if she could do that, baby. But no, you don't have them all at one time. They're spread out according to the pace. So all elect ain't gathered at one time. So that's why he said it's ordained for them to come in periods of time. But that's according to your faith. See, according to your righteousness, they are gathered one by one. So the congregation represented those that was gathering according to time as you proceeded, like how he gathered Zacchaeus. See, he didn't gather, it was a whole crowd of people came, but how many he took with him? Only one out of that group of people. And then he went to the next area. He was in the whole city of Jerusalem, but how many disciples did he have? Exactly. So they don't come like that. They're not, you don't go into a room and just, well, even when you fish, do you throw in one hook and grab everything in the ocean? Does everything bite at one time? You put it up and all fish, whales, sharks, everything on that one little hook. It's impossible. But you got to take what you get the first one, put that in, and then what? Redo it and what? Cast it back in again. Because you don't get them all at one time. It's impossible. Because that's why the earth is continuing. Because elects come throughout what? Time. Because it takes time for a person to go through what they have to go through in order for them to see the what? The light one day. Or better yet, for them to, they have to take, it takes the time for them to go through their situations to be beautifully broken for them to be able to receive you when you do come walking down their street. It takes what? Time. That's why they're not all born at one time. The seasons. They come in seasons. So that's why I say appointed time. Seasons. You might get one during the summertime, then you might get another one during the winter time. And then another one come maybe in springtime. Then another one might come in fall. Different seasons. Because a person you got to allow them to go through what they have to go through so they can fully make, because the process of them is they have to fully make this determination that I can't stay here. But at the same time, where do I go? But it takes time for them to realize that they are in a bad situation. It takes time. For some people, it takes years. Some people, 40, some plus years. Some people take 50 years, 20 years for them to realize what situation they're in and get to looking back like, oh, where am I at? That way call them lost sheep. It takes a time for a sheep to first realize that he lost. It takes time. So the elect are gathered like that. It's like a train that comes through, and as the train comes through, people jump on aboard as it comes through. You know what I mean? And that's how. But it's steady on a steady course. Like I told you, like a snowball. Remember? It just gets bigger and bigger as it's steady coursing. It runs its course, and everyone gets on accordingly at their time when they realize I need to get on this train. This is my train. Oh, this is the train I was waiting on. How many years did it take, they say, for Noah to build that ark? You see, it took time. I know you don't know the number. It took a long time. It wasn't no one day. He didn't build that thing up in no one day. And then it also took time, too, to gather all the animals that was coming in 2 by 2. You see? It took time. It takes time for somebody to realize that it is time. Right? But in between time, you stay busy. You stay doing what you got to do. Righteousness. Because they will come. They will come. But you can't give up because they don't all come today. It's not a point for them all to come today. It's just a point for you to stay, busy. And the increases of who? Y'all. When y'all ready for them, that's when y'all gonna reach out and get them. When y'all is ready for them. The same way Cornelius, he been doing that work for a while now. He was, helping out the Jew. When y'all finally sent the angel to him and said, now go see Peter. See, now it's time. Now it's time to see Peter. But beforehand, he said Cornelius, him and his family, they were just out there just doing, they loved Israel. They were doing, giving righteousness, doing what they had to do. And then one day an angel came and said, now it's time to Go see Peter concerning your house. Why? Because he's going to be elected an elect. Now it's time. But they don't specify, because that's the thing about the Bible. The Bible doesn't really give a lot of time frames. So we tend to think that everything happens in a day. But those moments in this Bible do not all occur in no one day. It takes time. So you have to know that and to stay like that turtle in that race. Steady steps and sure steps. And remember your discipline. You don't let people in just because they look like they want to get in, or they give you a smile or a wink, or come on. It's you. It's sure it's you. I just know it's you. That's why y'all say don't get caught with lust. Because sometimes a lot of that stuff just be and hunger and thirst. Because sometimes they say, you thirsty. Because you can appear to be that. Especially because they know where they come from, do you? And why you want them to come to your church so badly? That's why you can't get caught weak and beggarly out there. You hear me? Yahusha said it like this. A broken rod, he will not fix. A burning flax, he will not put out, or incense that has been lit, y'all will not put it out. Yahusha said he will not put it out. I used to wonder, what does that mean? Then I come to find out what it means. It means let the dead bury the what? It means don't stop nobody. If their heart set on doing evil, if their heart set on serving idols, don't try to stop them. Let them continue. Let them do what they do. Because y'all can't use you when when your heart is already turned to serve that. Can't do nothing with you anyway at that point. So it's useless for me. It's worthless for me to try to invest into you at that point. That's what he's saying. I can't invest no truth into you because you're not ready to what? To receive it. Because you got too much what? Going on. You know what I'm saying? When you got a lot on your plate, that's not the time for me to try to approach you with something new on your plate. Because you already got a lot going on. Especially a rich person, they're going to look at you like, I already got it all. Why do I need to hear what you talking about anyway? I got all this going on. What you trying to offer now? Jesus, Yehoshua? What is that? What are those? I can drop 7 of those right here. You know, I got a lot of money. So that person, you ain't going to be able to reach. But the only reason why you probably approached them anyway because you seen that they were what? Rich. And that's what got you caught. Having a lustful eye. But it's not like that. You have to be disciplined. And I always stress the word discipline because that's exactly what this faith going to cost you. That's the sacrifice. That's the fasting part. We know when you get hungry. We all get hungry out here. We all get thirsty of like, man, I wish I could have a little bit more. But I have to receive what I have to receive. And I make do with what I have. And then if I ever need something, what I showed y'all to do? Fast and pray. And when that time comes, and not a day before, what y'all gonna do? He'll unlock that blessing. But he ain't gonna give it to you not no day before. Your gifts don't come early. He said they come when? On what? On time. See, that means that's on time, meaning it was already said when you were supposed to have it. And he didn't say that it was going to come early. He didn't say that it was going to come late. He said according to when it was already supposed to be for you to receive it. That, my friend, is righteousness. That's faith. It's to stop worrying about your situation. Stop worrying about what you need and what you're going to get and when you're going to get it. And just do what you're told. Obedience. Just work righteousness. And it's going to come in what? Do what? Due season. Due. D-U-E. Like a paperwork that's due. A bill that is due. They're going to already have a date set and locked on there that is going to come. And not a day what? Before. You just got to wait for your due dates. You can't rush the baby out. You got to give the baby the whole 9 months. That baby know when they're ready to what? Come out. I know you get tired, man. Come on, this baby a bottle. Lord, drop this baby. But if that baby ain't ready to come out, then you can what? You can do. But just wait. Be patient. Eat a snack. Read a book. But don't be anxious to try to get something that ain't ready for you. Because they're going to prove to you once you get them that they was what? Wasn't ready for you. You a little bit too much. Because it wasn't their time. But Yah gets them when he knows it's their what? Time. Y'all don't never go out there in that field and pluck an apple off the tree that's still yellow, that ain't nowhere near red, before y'all pluck them. You got to understand that about fruit. You don't pluck nothing that ain't ready to be what? That's how it works. Now, finishing up on this word congregation. Okay, it's broken up into words, of course. Con, we know. Con means gathering. That's the gathering part, y'all. So y'all got the first part of the word. Con means to gather. But it's grace that y'all missed. Congregation actually means to march. Gathered to march. Congregation means gathered to what?
March.
Now that you understand that it is gathered to march, who are being gathered? Elect. Go back to now. To Revelation 19. No, before we go there, go to Psalms 1, then Revelation 19. Psalms 1. The elect are gathered to march. That is what congregation means. You hear me? Listen. Gathered to march. M-A-R-C-H. Because the elect are gathered to march. That is what congregation means. Listen. Psalms 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of scorn of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of Yah, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. You see, that's that planting. You ain't budging, right? By the rivers of water. See, the rivers of water represents the word of Yah. And the tree is the plant. It's the word of Yah planted on earth. It's the truth. It ain't going away. It's the original. And it says that bringeth forth his fruit in his word. See, because you're not just going to get it when you want it. It's going to come in what? In the season. He bringeth forth his fruit in his what? Season. The season for that time of that elect. Like Zacchaeus, when he went down the street, it was Zacchaeus' time. It was his moment. That's what he said, I'm coming to your house. It's your time. And he says, his leaf also shall not what? Wither. Wither means be hasty. He will not be what? Anxious. Listen, he will not be what? Anxious. He's telling you exactly what he's saying. This tree gathers in its season and it is not anxious. That's why he said the leaves become withered. Withered mean they dry up and they what? They dead. But he's telling you in that season they weren't supposed to be dead. That means anything that's already dead. When he said when he went to the fig tree, it was already withered. He said when I came to it, it shouldn't have already been what? Because I came to it in its what? Season, when it should have, all the leaves and fruit should have been what? Ready, ripe. So if it was already withered, then it was past its what? Time. It came too early. Not Yahusha, the fruit did. It was too early. It wasn't patient. And that's why the fruit was what? Spoiled. Because if you bring in some elect that ain't right, that ain't did no righteousness, you bring in what type of fruit in your house? Spoiled. Hasty fruit that's going to tear it all up. That's the den of what? Thieves. So you can't bring those type of people in that are hasty. You can't be hasty because if you hasty, then what you just brought in is even more hastier. Because they still following after what? Idols. They still in their sins. They not ready to, they're not ready. That's premature. You don't pluck it what? Prematurely. They got to be ready to come out of their sins. You just can't just, oh, I want that one right there so badly to come out. You ever try to pluck a baby out the womb? What the first thing they're going to do? Cry and say, put me where? Put me back. I want to go back in the belly. I don't want to. Right? That baby don't want to come out. It ain't ready to come out. But when the season come out, ain't nothing gonna stop that baby from what? Coming out. When the time, for sure, you can't hold the baby in not a moment longer. So you can't pluck it prematurely. And he said, and so whatsoever he doeth shall what? Prosper. See? He's prospering. Now, this one is prospering in soul gathering. He's prospering in winning elect. And the ungodly are not so. You see this? But are like what? The chaff, which the wind driveth what? Away. Meaning the word to them runs them what? It's like wind. What it do to them? It's running them what? Off. The word to them is like what? Chaff. Chaff is that withered. They withered. They dried out. They hasty. That's why he said the ungodly are not so. Because godly mean that they was what? What is the mystery of what? Godliness that I showed you in 1 Timothy? The mystery of godliness. The one who had Yah in him understood that to gather them in season and not what? Out of season. Now, the ungodly are not what? So, they don't know how to do this. They gather stuff what? They like the chaff, which the wind what? Drive it away. I mean, they gather what? Hastily. And the word runs them what? Off. Driveth them what? Away. Away doing what? Chasing after what? Idols. Let the dead what? Bury the dead. So they ain't no sense of coming after them. They already chasing behind the wind. They gone. They mind already what? It's gone. You can't save them at that point. That's the point when you get to the roll your boat gently down the stream. Barely. Life is what? It's but a dream. Because that's where you are. That is what congregation means. They are just marching what? Through. They marching what? Marching through. Elect or what? Marching what? Marching through. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand, see, in the judgment, nor sinners in the what? Congregation of the... So he said, when they come, the congregation will come marching through, and these people will not be able to what? Stand when they see them marching what? You know how they say that? Oh, when the saints go what? That's what they was talking about. That's congregation. They was marching. But what you think they marching to do?
To get their elect.
Get the elect, and they steady, and they on the course to get to where? The end course is where? Heaven. The end course of the train is heaven, but the elect are gravitating to it along what? The way. As they are marching through. That's what it always has meant. And in this congregation, he says sinners will not be able to what? Overtake that train. You ever seen them movies when they always trying to overtake the stagecoach or the train? You know, the thieves trying to stop it while it's going. Armored trucks and stuff. Yeah, that's what that means. For the Lord knoweth the way of what? The righteous. But the way of the ungodly shall what? See, he knows the way. The righteous have to go about it a certain way. Like the turtle. Like the stagecoach. Right? It's going, and of course it's getting attacked on both sides, but it's continuing on a steady course. Go to Revelations 19 now. He says, so after these things, I heard a great voice of much people in heaven saying, Hallelujah, salvation, and glory and honor and power unto Yahuwah Mashiach. For true and righteous are his judgments, for he has judged the great whore. Who's the great whore? Babylon. She getting judged because she has held the people what? Captive, held them back. Which did corrupt the earth with her fornication. She corrupted you. What is her fornication? Fear. Serving idols. See, when you don't serve Yah, you got to have something else you're going to serve. And normally, 9 times out of 10, if you ain't serving Yah, you're going to go serve a what? An idol. And the idol is sin. Because that idol is the very thing the reason why demons break loose, I'm going to tell you why they became fallen demons. Because instead of serving Yah's word, these demons became loud in teaching people to serve other things. Telling you ain't got to do what Yah say, you do what I say. Like the devil asked Eve, right? You bite this apple, that's going to be your way. You don't need to go this route, go this way route. And you still going to get there. So demons and devils, pandemonium, they teaching everybody to what? They're loud with what? Teaching everybody to go what? The wrong way. So to serve an idol is to somebody to attach you, a demon, to say, here, come with me. And you follow behind the foolishness. And you caught, you snagged. Now, that's the great whore because she has taught all of us to go another way. She's ran us off from the truth. Right? And so, Yah will avenge the blood of his servants at her hand. Why? Because she killed all the ones that try to tell y'all to go the right path. She was what? Having these type of people what? Killed. Having them removed. Having them crucified for telling y'all the right path. And again, he said, hallelujah, and her smoke has rose up to forever and ever. Smoke talking about her incense, her smell. I'm on Revelations 19. Because he says, never put a person out that want to go serve an idol. Don't stop them. Listen to me. Don't stop them. You can't save them at that point. Wait till they are beautifully what? You have to. I know sometimes you want to just jump on everybody and save them, but sometimes you got to slide back and say it's not time, that it's not their season. Because the only thing they're going to do is reject you out of fear. It's going to be by fear. Don't get it twisted that there's anything else on the table that the reason why they can't receive you. They only can't receive you right now is because the fear begins to play upon them and they're going to run to whatever. They're going to pick something they think going to help them fight against the truth. That's the idol. I can't go that route. But what is my alternative? And the alternative is the idol. The alternative is the demon. And they would choose the alternative. That's why I say, so let the dead go after what? Their alternatives. Let them have it. Don't stop them. Because if you do, and try to still bring them to your house, they're not ready. They're not ready. And now you got a whole demon in your house. Chaos. There you go. And one demon gonna let in what? Because they wasn't ready. Listen. And so the 4 and 20 elders and the 4 beasts fell down and worshiped Yah that sat on the throne, saying, Amen, hallelujah. And a voice came out of the throne saying, Praise our Yah, all his servants, and ye that fear him, both small and great. I heard as if it were the voice of a great multitude, and as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of the mighty thunder, saying, Hallelujah, for Yahuwah Yah, omnipotent reign. Meaning that's Yah over all powerful, right? All strength. And what is his power now we learned? What it is? Omnipotent means what? He's reigning out of what? Love. His strength is what? Love. That's what keeps the whole earth ball still. Because his love can keep anything what? Still. Without you getting all scary and shaking. That's the thing about love. It's stronger than what? Fear. That's how he's able to hold everything in place. If y'all ever want to know his power, the strength of it is that love has the strength to hold all things in place. That's how he's able to get his elect out of this all. Right? Let's keep reading. So 7, it says, So let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife has made herself ready. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of the saints. And he said unto me, Right, blessed are they which are called unto this marriage supper of the Lamb. Now what you think this marriage means? They uniting you with Yah as a bride, but what are y'all gonna do? What does congregation mean?
March.
Getting ready to march. So when you unite with Yah, the bride,
They all are uniting, the elect are uniting with Yahushua because they finna get ready to march. Not the Million Man March. This march is going to be the march. This march right here is what's going to pull every elect into it. This is the sickle that gathers all elect. And it's going to sever them, circumcise them away from all bad people. Okay? And they're going to be cast out, and people are going to be running from them. They're going to get out of their presence because they know this is the one. This is the one. They so organized, they so together, and they so faithful, and they ain't turning back. And it's right. It's the truth. All right. So upon this supper of the Lamb, and he said unto me, these are true saying of Yah. So he say, blessed to be an elect. Because that if you are an elect, you finna go what? You're going to march. Now, why would you call a march? We all know what a march means. For those who don't know, we're not talking about a marching band. But perhaps maybe we can hear it in here and see what this march actually does. 10, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see that thou do it not. See, there you go, same thing. Don't worship. I am just a fellow servant. This is the angel saying. And of thy brethren that have testimony of Yahushua, worship Yah. See? Even he gonna tell you to what? Worship who? Worship Yah. For the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of what? Prophecy. So I saw in heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him was called faithful and what? True. And in righteousness he doeth judge and make what? Uh-oh. So the march is for what? In the war, he finna judge everybody according to what? So when they come through your sweeping through your land, don't be found empty-handed. Because you're going to have a bad day. He says his eyes were as a flame of fire. Because it's going to burn you. It's going to consume you. Because it's going to be able to see right through you, up and down. That's why he said it's a fire. His eyes were like a flame of fire. And on his head were many crowns. Because he is the one who made kings out of kings. He made lords out of lords. If you got any title, you got to get it through him. He said, so he wore many crowns. If anybody that thought they was ruling anything, if you didn't get it through him, you ain't got it. And he had a name written that no man knew but of him what? Of himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in what? And his name is called what? So the judgment is going to be the word of Yah, which we know is still Yahushua. He is the word. The word will judge everybody according to what? Righteousness. This is the day of what? If you ain't figured that out by now. And the armies, that's the elect, yes, which were in heaven, followed him that sat upon white horses. No, they said they all followed him upon white horses. And they were all clothed in fine linen, white and what? Clean. Because the white and clean represent everyone that's with him has what? Righteousness. Proof. So they judging you when they come to see, let me see your hands. What you got? Right? Because it's either going to be clean and white, full of righteousness, or it's going to be bloody. Bloody and red. That's why he said on his vesture was dipped in what? Blood. Because either your hands going to be clean or they're going to be full of what? And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the what? Nations. So all people gonna have to be under this. And he shall rule them with a rod of what? What is that iron? Righteousness. And he trended the what? Wine press. So I told you it was a march because he said he trending. Like a treadmill. Yeah, he's stepping on people, boo-boo. He's stepping on them. To the point where the wine press, he calls them wine at that point because he's smushing them like grapes. You ever seen how they make wine? They put all them little grapes in the thing and they smush them with their feet till the juice comes out. That's what the army finna be doing. Trending the wine press of the fierceness and the wrath of what? Almighty Yah. So who called this upon the earth? Big Yah. And he had on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and what? Lord of Lords, because you ain't got the title unless he gave it to you. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of the air, come, gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great Yah, that you may eat what? The flesh of who? Kings. Flesh of who? Captains. The flesh of who? Mighty men. And the flesh of horses, and them that sat on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. And the beast was what? Taken. And with him the false prophet, Antichrist, that worked miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the what? And them that worship his image. These both were cast alive into the lake of what? Fire, burning with brimstone. And the remnant was slain, his children were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh. So he fed all the birds of the air, the flesh of all kings, lords. So we say king of what? Lord of lords. So if everybody had a title that day, it still was going to be according to what? Righteousness. But if you had none, being a king or a rich person, all of them got slaved that day when the armies and elects go through. So the elect congregation means the elect gathered together to march. Gathered together to march. So when y'all go to these churches and y'all see these churches thinking that that's the congregation, no. The congregation has 100% elect. And I know y'all can't go in these churches and say everybody in that church is an elect. You know better than that. You knew. That's when you knew it was time to come up out of them, because you have been fooled. That is not the elect. They are not the congregation, because that's not even what the congregation means. Come to find out, it's like Congress, progress. How do you progress? What does that mean? To move forward. See, that's what you knew that meant march. To move forward, the word gress, transgress, progress. Progress report. Y'all get them in school? And then what they saying, what is your progress report showing your what? Progress. If you are what? Moving what? Forward. So congregation is representing those that have come to march forward. Why they marching forward? Go into Hebrews. Hebrew 11. He says, now the faith is the substance of things hoped for now, and the evidence of these things not yet seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. See, through faith we understand now that the world was framed by the word of what? Yeah, you can't have nothing unless who speak it first. That's what he means. The world is framed, meaning you will not be built up unless you get it from who? Yeah, that's what he means. Don't be hasty and take nothing that God didn't approve you to what? To take or have. That's the key. That's faith. He's telling you that. He's explaining faith to you right now. Faith means it's the substance of things what? Hope for. What are the things that you hope for? Okay, whatever you have prayed for. Right? It's the substance of it. But how do you know you can get what you hope for? By doing what? Righteousness. So you got to do something to get what you hoped it for. Hope of what you have worked it what? For. It's your hope. That if I work for it, y'all gonna what? Give it to me. See, that's the faith. Not, I'm just gonna take it because that shows what? Zero faith. So faith is the action of, let me just do righteousness, put my head down, and whatever y'all gives me, when the time is right, I will what? Receive it. He said, so that's how he said the earth was formed that way, so that which are seen were not made of things which do what? Appear. So it ain't about what you take. That ain't the world. You're going to find out you just took what? Nothing. Because it's going to come to what? Nothing. And it's going to be blown to dirt and bits in front of your face. Because you thought you had it, but you didn't. Because y'all did not what? Give it to you. Like when Thanos snapped his finger, all them people turn to what? Dust. Because you weren't supposed to what? Have it. You don't get to keep it. You lose what? Everything. He says, so by faith, let's go down. Same thing, 7. Oh, 6. He says, so but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yah must believe that he is what? And that he is the rewarder of them that what? Diligently is the rewarder. See, you can't call yourself the rewarder. You gotta, who's gonna reward you when you need something? Yes, what he's saying, you have to believe and trust that what? Process. That I know if I get hungry out here, who gonna feed me? Can I say, if I get hungry out here, Ariana gonna feed me? No, because that means I'm looking by sight and not by what? Because I can see Ariana, so I'm putting my trust in what I can see. But I see Ariana right there. She can help me. That ain't how I'm supposed to look at it, right? I'm supposed to even close my eyes to her like she not even what? There. That's what I mean. That's how they mean don't use people like that. Because you got to make it look like they're not even there. Continue what you have to what do. It's between you and who? You and Yah. It's between you and Yah. He says it. 7. So by faith, Noah, being warned of Yah, of things not yet seen yet, moved with what? Fear. So Noah even moved with fear. He prepared an ark to the saving of his what? His house. Because he knew he needed a blessing. He knew he needed to get up out of that land because it was about to be what? Flooded. He knew he needed to. But it was Yah said, okay, you take care of my business on the front end. I take care of your business what? On the back end. And in return, Yah was building him a what? An ark. But he had to continue to do what? He's going to tell you what he did. He says he put in the ark of the saving of his house, by which he condemned what? The world, and became hero of the righteousness, which is by what? Faith. Because while he was taking care of Yah's work, Yah was what? Taking care of his, and that's how he was able to escape. And he said, and that's what condemned everyone else, that this man is what? Righteous, and he was what? Rewarded for it. Yah took care of him. And it condemns anyone else's work outside of what? Righteousness. That's what he's saying. He condemned you through righteousness. Because he know how he received his. So when y'all ask you how'd you get that, you better have the receipts. You better have them. I know y'all love keeping receipts. You better have those receipts to say, how did you acquire this? And it better be through what? Righteousness. Don't ever say, I was hungry, I was thirsty, I just took it, because you're going to be found to be a thief. Y'all said don't steal, right? He says, by faith, 8, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed and went out, not knowing where he was going to what? Go. See, he didn't even know where he was. Y'all just told him, come out. See, the obedience is just all about doing what y'all what? Tell you to what? And don't question it. Don't what? Doubt it. Don't doubt it. Just do it. Y'all don't like you to doubt. So when y'all tell you to do something, what? That's what people fear. That's what he said. People, I put my word out there, but people be so fearful to what? Just do it. And they're running from it, trying to find other ways that they can see instead of understanding, I spoke it. I know you don't see it right now, but I got you. Just do what I tell you to what? Yeah. I know you don't see it right now. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it's a lot of times I didn't have to move blindly when y'all told me to do some things, and people be looking at me crazy sometimes, like, man, TJ, you, man, that can really cost you some things, you tripping. But I be like, in my heart, I be wanting to tell them so bad, I be like, but y'all told me to do it. And I gotta do it if y'all tell me to what. And sometimes I be wanting to sympathize with them. It's like, I understand how you feel. I would love to feel that way too, but I can't. You know what I'm saying? So I be like, I sympathize with your fear. I feel like I get it, because you don't understand, So I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see them wavering. Sometimes I be like, I get it, because anybody, if I was in your situation, I would do, when you, that's crazy. You know something. Because I ain't no way I would do that, because I ain't gonna risk it all for what I can't see. But I have to move like that. And so when I move like that, people who's used to having a good explanation for why you do that, when you be like, I did it because y'all say do it, but I can't see no y'all. How what you mean? But all I see is this boss right here. I see this right here. I see that right there. And it looks like you about to be in some trouble. Right? All I see is Goliath right there. You tripping. Yeah. But they don't see how y'all reveal. They don't be seeing the angels that are, there. They don't see the spiritual things that are in the environment, because they just so busy looking at what they can see instead of what they can't what. That y'all got it.
But y'all didn't come to them.
But y'all didn't come to them, so that's why a lot of them, unless you're right, that they don't understand it. They don't see it because they don't know it like that. All right. So he says, by faith now, he sojourned in the land of promise as in a strange country. Sojourning means he was just traveling through, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, and with the heroes with him of the same promise. For he looked for a city which had foundations, whose builder and maker is who? Yah. So how was this kingdom going to be built? By Yah. You see, not by him. He knew he can't take nothing outside of what? What is what? Given by who? Yah. See, he knew that I can't build it unless Yah what? Give it. I can't use it unless Yah what? Give it. That's why I say, whose builder and the maker is who? Yah. Builder mean he the one giving you the parts. That's why he call him the builder. Here, build with this. Here, build with that. Right? You can't build it if Yah don't give you no bricks. Yah gives you the bricks. And maker means he's the fashioner too. So he the one says, yeah, you can use these curtains too. That'll go nice with the decor in here. Right? I mean, he fashions it the way he what? He wants it. So it's not of you to build your own house. You have to let it, who build it? Yeah. Through faith, also Sarah herself received strength to conceive and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who had promised to. Therefore sprang there even of one of her and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in multitude, and as the sand which is by the seashore innumerable. All these died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded by them and embraced them, and confessed. They confessed that they were just strangers and pilgrims on the earth. Congregation. What are they doing? Marching through. That's it. So they confessed in verse 13 that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth too, meaning this ain't my what? This ain't my home. I'm just what? Passing through. Taking a lick right along what? With me. For they that say such declare plainly that they seek a country not made like this one. And truly, if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out of, if you've been mindful of your captivity which you just came out of, Egypt, if you want to go back to it, he says, by all means, they might have had an opportunity to return. But when they was set free, when they was resurrected, did they return? Nope. Did Yahushua return? back to his old place, to go back. Because once you resurrected through Yah, you are the new man, the new creature. You're not going back to your old life.
Yeah.
You don't go backwards.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. They don't go backwards. Because remember, when they marching, they don't march to retreat. They're not marching to retreat. He said his word don't come back what? So they don't march to retreat. And Yah ain't got nothing to repent of. So he says, 16. But now they desire a better country, that is, an heavenly built one, whereof Yah is not ashamed to be called their Yah, their Father. For he has prepared for them what? A city. How does he prepare them a city? Because he gives them the bricks. He give you the people. That's what he's saying. Righteousness is about building. But you only can build with what? The pieces that Yah what? Gives to you. That's all it is. I know people want to fashion their own homes. I know people want to fashion their own stuff. But this walk will not be like that. You can't say who's going to be in your house and who ain't. It's Yah who builds the house. Yah going to give you the people as it's time. And those people are being layered to build with. Because why? Because all of y'all will be of the same mind. All of y'all will be able to build together, and all of y'all will see the vision of Yah. That way it's able to build and snowball and grow greater. But if you bring in a spoiled piece, they're going to ruin what? Everything. They don't have the vision. How you know the vision? Ants show you the vision, right? Ants, how they build their little stuff, but then you'll never see no outside critter come in and say, I'm going to help y'all out. Because he going to spoil the whole thing, will it? So the only ants help in that building, right? All hands on deck, but it's all ants. I ain't never seen something outside of an ant go on an ant hill and help them build it. It's only elect. Because elect have the what? The vision. Because they all have what? How many minds? One mind. Even though it's many of them, they only have how many? So they all build together as one. And they move together as one. He says, 17. By faith, Abraham, when he was tried, he offered up Isaac, and that he received the promise offered up of his only begotten son, of whom it is said that in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Accounting though, because when he tell Isaac, he said, Isaac gonna be the promised child, right? Before he was born. But he was tried again because y'all wanted to see if he was gonna stick with his word. And then he said, give me your son, kill your son. If I say kill your son, right? But Abraham understood. He said, accounting that Yah was able to what? Raise him up, even from the dead, from whence also he also received him in a figure or a model. By faith, Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. By faith, Jacob, when he was dying, blessed both the sons of Joseph and worshiping, leaning upon the top of his staff. By faith, Joseph, when he died, made mention of the departing of the children of what? See, he knows that the elect finna what? Depart. They're not staying in this captivity what? Forever. Captivity gonna leave, but they're gonna keep on what? Marching through. And so why? So he gave commandments concerning his what? Bones, meaning when y'all get ready to go, Joseph, when he told him this command, he was still in Egypt. Israel was still in captivity. But he gave this last word before Joseph passed. He said, when y'all leave, take my bones what? With you and take them to the promised land. And he passed on. And did they not go to the promised land? They did. Through who? Moses came later and got them out of what? Egypt. So even just what he's saying, Joseph had that faith to understand, oh, we're not staying in this captivity. No way. So when y'all do march on, just make sure to what? Take me what? That's it. That's it. Joseph understood the understanding. They said, yeah, I know we in Egypt for now, but we know row your boat, right? We know in this winter wonderland that we are in, don't touch what? Nothing. No need. Just continue on. You don't need nothing from Jack Frost and the rest of them. You don't need none of Santa Claus offering. No, because they're not coming. Right? You continue on. So it says, by faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because they saw he was a proper child and that they were not afraid of the king's what? Command. By faith. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, he refused to be called the son of what? Pharaoh's daughter. See, he refused to stay where? In Egypt. We're not staying in this captivity. It's time to what? March on. Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of Yah than to enjoy the pleasure of sin for a what? See, it's only for a season. So esteeming the reproach of Yahushua greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had a respect unto the recompense of the reward of what? Righteousness. He said, I want to see what I can do, what I get out of doing what? Righteous. Let me see what that look like. Rather than take what Egypt offering. See, some of us just take the deal and let it be. But by faith he forsook Egypt, saying, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who was what? Invisible. So he sought after righteousness. He sought after friend Israel was my best option. I don't know what's going to become of us, but I know we ain't staying where? Here. See, that's that type of faith you got to know. You got to know this. This is that type of faith. Like when COVID hit. And it was like, a lot of people didn't know whether or not to take the shot or not. A lot of people were scared and nervous. And then they would start to demand, I got it, you ain't got it, or you're going to lose it all. And you was like, well, what do I do? Now I'm at a rock and a hard spot because, and then you realize that all it was what? Fear. Because you said, well, if I get the shot, they going to kill me. Some of us was feeling like that. Another was like, I'm not getting it, but I know I'm going to lose everything. So some of us were like that. But then Yah is the one who settles you and say, but take the shot. That way you can have another day. They can't kill you until I give them the word to what? So don't you ever fear. You just continue what? Marching what? On. And remember we all went up there? And how we all was like, but then once we got it, we here now, like, huh. Right? Huh. All that fear, all that scare, all that worry, for what? Right? But then you realize you just gotta just keep what? Keep going and don't let nothing stop you. Don't let that little hiccup stop you. Oh, I can't, oh no. Right? What I'm gonna do? Y'all already provided what you gonna do. You just gonna keep on going. Stop worrying about them little stuff, roadblocks. Because they just be trying to scare you to do something what? Stupid. All right? So look, here. Okay, we're here. In 28, he said, so through faith he kept the Passover and sprinkling the blood, lest he that destroyed the firstborn should touch them. By faith they passed through the Red Sea as by dry land. See, they passed right on through. Which the Egyptians tried to do so, but they was what? There you go. But the elect will always continue to march what? March on. Come right out of captivity. It's almost like, I'm going to tell you how this faith going to look like to you in a few minutes. At first, when you start going, it's going to look like you on a highway riding in a city, through a city, and out of a city. Listen, it's going to be like you, when the march begins, which it has already begun, it's going to be like you coming into a city. Each city represents a captivity. Each city represents a captivity. This is a captivity, but this is just a city. It's like coming in the city, going through it, and then what? Coming out of it. But then it gets faster. And then it starts looking like a film strip. Scene after scene. You seen the old school film strips? How they do it? Because each film strip has a what on it? A scene. But once it starts rolling down, it starts going faster and it starts looking like they're all together. But that's how the timeline is. It's going to be like scene after scene after scene after scene. Meaning into a city, through a city, out the city. And those all old screen or scenes are just old captivities that's going to fall off of you. But Israel going to always keep what? Going. Until they reach that place. They're not going to be stopped until they get there. That's going to be the marching. Trust me. Listen. Okay, go down. Let's go down. Because we see all these people had to go through that stuff too. He says 37. And they were stoned and they were asunder, sawn asunder, meaning cut in half. That was Isaiah, right? Were tempted, were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskin and goat skins, being destitute, afflicted, and tormented. They wandered about, see? Of whom the world was not what? Worthy of them. See, the world didn't even recognize who they were. Just people that was what? Passing what? They wandered in deserts and in mountains and in dens and in caves of the earth. And these all, having obtained a good report through faith, received not the promise. Y'all having provided something better things for them, that they, without us, should not be made what? Perfect. Who's they talking about? Who's the us? Talking about us. You see how they passed through here? And they said, but without us, they won't be made whole anyway. So that was what they were saying. Remember, I was explaining to y'all earlier about the elect. Remember, one person asked a long time ago, well, y'all, why don't you just gather your elect now and be done with it? And he says, well, cannot, baby, all of them are not born at the what? Exactly. So he lets it continue because all are not born at the same time. All elect are not born at the same time. But this timeline will go until all elect will gravitate and come into the truth and begin to do what is righteous. That is what we are to do. And so in this great walk, we recognize that we have nothing to fear. We continue on. The congregation will be Yahushua when he will march with his armies. All of them going to be there, all the elect. And you know what they going to march on? Pandemonium. That's who getting marched on. Everything that was out of order, you're going to walk right on top of it. And you're going to put everything in order as you come through. And that's what he said. When that spirit hits you, you're going to be going through city to city, freeing people. Waking up the elect. Like a choo-choo train just coming through. And they ain't going to be able to stop it. Every door that they try to close, y'all just going to open what? Another one. Some of them doors, it's just going to let you go straight through them. Some of them walls is just going to come straight down. But you will not be stopped in this great walk with y'all. All right, let me see. Is there anything else I want to share with you guys? Just give me a second. Okay. Okay. So in order, we know that Yahushua, the righteous path is therefore you got to have clean feet. Remember that part about him washing the feet. So we know that that's how it started. See, once he washes your feet, he cleanses you from fear and now allows you to go on without fear. Now you have to make sure that you don't mess your path back up, right? So go to, we know about the washing of the feet, and Yahushua said you clean through his words. So from that point, let me make sure. Go to Deuteronomy 30 and 19. Go 30. Let's start at
You said 30?
yeah, Deuteronomy 30. Start at 8. He says, and thou shalt return, if thou shalt return and obey the voice of Yah, and to do all his commandments which I command you this day, the Lord Yah will make thee plenteous in every work of thy hand, and in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of the land for good. For Yah will again rejoice over thee for good, as he rejoiced over your forefathers. If thou shalt hearken to the voice of Yah, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which are written in this book of the law. But if thou turn unto the Lord Yah with all thy heart and with all thy soul. For this commandment which I command thee this day is not hidden from you, right? Is it hidden? Neither is it far off. Is it far off? Does anybody got to go get it for you? Because Yah said, I lay it right in what? Right in front of you. Boom. Do righteousness. It's not a hard thing. You ain't got to go ask for somebody to find it. You ain't gonna need nobody to go run, duck, and go across a river and climb a mountain to go get it. I bring it right to you. 12. It is not in heaven that thou shouldest say, who shall go up for us to heaven and to bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it? Neither is it beyond the sea that thou shalt say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it? But the word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest what? Do. It's a plant. It's a seed. See, I have set before you this day what? Life and what? Good, and death and what? Evil. So it's set before us what? See, now you have been taught. You have a choice. Not that you don't know what to do. You know what's going to be the dividing line. What's the dividing line at this point? Righteousness. That's the dividing line. You know now what it is that you must do. You know now what it is that everyone what must do. And that's the dividing line. And you let nothing cross that ain't, and you make sure you don't give in to no nonsense. Because just like Solomon and them, that's how their houses fell too. Because they started letting in what? The wrong type of what? Company. Right? So Yah says, I lay before you good and evil. Right? Life or death. Make your what? Make your choice. Listen. Okay. Go down to 16. It says, and that I command thee this day to love what? Yahuwah Yah, to walk in his ways and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgment, that thou mayest live and multiply. So how you going to live and multiply? It's a snowball effect. We're just talking about it. Not only will you live, but you will also what? Multiply, because you're going to grab a elect along the way. This is the mystery of what he was saying right here. You're going to be able to save souls. This was the commandment he had gave to Adam, remember, in the beginning, to live and multiply. Be fruitful and what? Yeah. And the Lord thy Yah shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to what? To possess it. But if your heart turn away in fear, right? I'm going to add that, in fear. So that you will not hear and you begin to go and serve idols. What is idol? What is an idol to you? There you go, exactly. The person you look up to the most, or the very thing you fear. When only thing you supposed to fear was who? So anything you fear outside of Yah is your what? It's your idol. Anything you worship more than Yah is your what? Anything you respect more than Yah is your what? Your idol. And if you be drawn away by that idol and worship other gods, see, and serve them, then I will denounce unto you this what? This day. You're going to put you what? Down. Meaning denounce me, for I never knew you. I denounce that I even know you or got any dealings with you, because you ain't, matter of fact, you ain't did what I told you to do anyway, so you ain't with me. And at this point, you become a bastard. Bastardized means that you're no longer a son or what? A daughter of Yah. Because you refuse to do what Yah explained to you to do, which is given to you right now. The word of faith, righteousness. Faith come about what? Hearing. And hearing by the word of what? Yah. So I denounce you this day if you turn and begin to go serve your idols and other gods. That you start fearing those things instead of me. Even if it's an angel, and if you go bow to that angel, as you can clearly see, how many times, matter of fact, just in today alone, how many times we read that people almost tried to bow to something and they told them what? Get your butt up. So we don't fear or serve anything outside of who? Yeah, we don't bow to it. So I denounce unto you this day that you shall surely what? Perish. So if you do it, I will denounce you, a bastard, and then you shall what? Surely what? Yeah, you're going to perish. Because guess what? Another thing. If you go serve an idol or law, because laws get you in trouble too if you trust that law more than you trust Yah. Like, what if they make a law say everybody got to be gay? What you going to do? You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that the law can only go so far unless it's still serving what? Yah. But when those laws begin to go out opposing Yah's law, do we still serve them then? That's an idol at that point. Can't serve nothing that is against the will of what? Yah. I don't serve nothing because that's an idol. Now, what about idols then? What happens? Yah says, if you live by it, then you shall surely what? Die by it. So if you put your trust in it, that would say let the dead bury the what? If you put your trust in what is dead, you're going to die like the what? The dead. Because remember, they slaves too. You forgot that part. Creatures are slaves. So you're going to fear something that fears too? Every idol fears. Remember, the devil has what? Fear. So if you serve the devil, you fear what does fear. He fear Yah. He fear Yahushua. So why would you go serve anything that fears something itself? So that means not only are you one step below, you done just became what? 2 steps below, because now you under that thing that fear too. You used to have, at least I was neck and neck at first. But when you fear that, you put yourself even more so under that one. So now you gotta, and you put yourself in his gate, and now he becomes your what? Gate. Like that strong man. So if you feel the strong man who fears Yah, then you just didn't put yourself, that was here, walking on water, now you can put yourself what? Underwater, under the strong man's strength and power, through fear. And now you got to go back through that door just to get back to where you once was, right? That you can get your relationship back with Yah, that only you serve Yah. But for these people, that's them. But for us, we know we can't, because we know too much to go backwards. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference. I'm saying that for people who don't know that they're going to have to go through many gates to get back to Yah. That's what they call it, degrees. Because a lot of them have dropped in degree. Because they put themselves up under so many things. Like people who serve under the Pope, who serve up under the president, who serve up under... See, because y'all know, if y'all trust in y'all president, you know y'all president's scared of the Pope. They kiss the hand of the Pope. So the president is under what? The Pope. The Pope, they up under the gays. The gays, yeah, Yeah, you under a whole stack. Go Kamala Harris if you want. Go Trump if you want. They up under something too. They ain't just operating freely under y'all. We know that because we ask them questions all the time. What you gonna do for black people? They looking like, well, my hands are tied. By who? The strong man. Yeah, okay. The strong man got you. So how can I serve you if you serving somebody too? Right? Yeah, you down. I can't. No. That's too many levels to try to get back to the top. Right? Mm-hmm.
You said the Pope wanted the gas?
Of course, because he's a pedophile. So he's a slave to that. Meaning he's not free himself because he's under sin. See, he loves men and children. So he's not what I'm saying is, if you're not gay, then you are what? Walking on water, right? If you're not gay, then you're above it, ain't you? You're walking on it because you're not a slave to it, are you? But once you become it, then you are a slave to it. You get it? So if you are gay, then you under the rulership of what is gay, and gay will be your ceiling. You can't get past it. That's what these are people who can't stop sinning, right? Like, I want to stop being gay, but I just can't. They keep going right back into it, right? Because the ceiling is what? For them, the strong man is holding them. It's the gay man. The strong gay, whatever, is holding them. The angel of the spirit that keeps gay people gay. It's got them under his what? His or her spell, or its spell. I don't know what to call it, the LGBTQ. But under its spell. So it's holding everyone that is like that, it's holding them under a spell. It's a spell that's on them that makes them want to be like that. It's a spell. It's a demon for sure. So they're under the demonic, spirit of it. That's why I say Pandemonium, all them demons went about. And they got a lot of people under their what? Under their spells. So gay is another spell. So you either walking on it or you what? Under it. So yes, gay, the Pope is under that because he's up there. Everything in the Catholic Church come out pedophile and gay. Only reason they don't admit it because it's the Pope. But it's impossible for it not to be the Pope if everybody in his congregation is like that. So if everyone in his whole church is like that and he's the teacher of them, how in the world is he not involved? But they just kind of keep his identity what? Yeah, they just hide it. Of course they do. He ain't not just innocent like that. No, they gotta hide his reputation. Like, they know what he does, but if anything ever happens, like Da Vinci Code, anything, they're gonna sweep it under the rug. And if anybody do want to say something, they might come up with dead or something. You know how they do it. When you get ready to tell on one of them officials, somehow you don't end up down the street where you was going to. Yeah, they're gonna hide it, trust me. Anytime even when the president do something, they're gonna hide it. You know what I mean? Only exception was Bill Clinton. They blew him up. They wanted his information to come out, but but when they do stuff, they always hide what they do. They don't let it be known because of their reputations, right? So yeah. So he's definitely up under that umbrella. They got him. So don't think that he's ever been freed of anything. He's under the spell himself. That's why he said, I lead captivity what? So whoever is a captivity or a demon that's holding people, the word says it. Everything that it is holding captivity will be under what? That's what it means. Now, what is the captivity? That's a great thing. Now, what is the captivity that's holding all of them under? There you go. One of you gonna pick up on that. Exactly. Fear is holding all of them. I always say, I'm gonna leave captivity what? Captive. So he gonna be caught just as well as he got you what? Caught. He wasn't getting out of it neither because it's gonna be through fear. Got him too. He just don't know it yet until what come? Yeah, his fear come, and then Exactly. So all of them are caught. So watch this here. So he says now, 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and what? Cursings. Therefore choose what? Life, that both you and thy seed may what? Live. That thou mayest love Yah, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him. You see? For he is thy life, and the length of your days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which Yah sware unto the fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give you. So long life and everything you will ever need in life, Yah has already provided it for you. This is one of the mysteries that they lied to us about. They make you think you have to do all this extra activity just to receive things when those things are already given. Everything you ever was going to have in life, Yah has already written it down in the book that you was going to have. That's why Yah gets very upset when we return back to Yah with stuff we ain't supposed to have. Right? First thing you're going to look and say, what are those? I wrote down a list of what you supposed to look like when you came back. I appointed you to have this. I appointed you to be with this person. I appointed you to have this. I appointed you to be wearing that. But look at you. What happened? And that meant you went rogue and did what you wanted to what? Okay. To do. And then that's when you got in trouble. But Yah has already written according to what fashion they want you to be dressed in. They have already written when those things were going to come about. So all of these things, Yah is already written. That's why he says, I've already cooked my dinner. I have already placed it there, right? And he told you to come to the marriage, meaning to receive it. Receive my way, and you will never have to worry. I have already ordained who you was going to be with. I ordained who you was going to marry. You can't do it of yourself. If you do it of yourself, you're only going to fall short because Yah going to make sure you do. Because if Yah don't give it to you, you shall not surely keep it. So be patient with Yah. Do what you have to do. Pray and fast. And everything that's supposed to come to you will come to you, but when? In due season, right? It's not when you want it, because Yah is never late. Yah, that's the thing I learned. They never late. We just get too anxious. You ever notice that? Because late means, oh, Lord, I'm dead. Got me. It's over. You still here now, so when did anything be? That's how Y'all be laughing at us sometimes, how we be looking at clocks and stuff right there, looking at you like, oh man, I don't got so much time left. Y'all like, calm down. I got you. Calm down. And then it's when you do get back to work, and I notice when I even if I have a thought, I have to rebuke myself, and then I'll go into the word. I'll go say, well, let me go learn something. Let's see what Y'all got for me today, what the Spirit has for me today. And I put my just trust in that. And then, lo and behold, I forget all about what it was I was even worried about. And then before I know it, there's an answer. And then I come back and say, man, I forgot about that. And look, that's the answer to that. That's how it works with Yah. He wants you to let go and let what? Yeah, that's what they really be saying, but we don't know how to seem to what? Do that. Let go and what? Let Yah. Stop worrying about our cares, our worries, and our fears and stuff, and give those things to Yah. Say, here, Yah, these are my fears. These are my cares. This is things I be struggling with. These are my weaknesses. Help me. And I encourage all of y'all to go to Yah and say, help me. If you feel like you're struggling on something, don't just struggle in it. Don't try to figure it out on your own. You're not going to be able to. It's only going to get what? Worse. So stop at that moment. Pray. Get by yourself somewhere. If you want to go off somewhere, you pray. Another thing. Well, now that I am here, I want all of y'all to learn how to pray for yourselves too, because you are starting to reach ages where you can't always depend on daddy prayers, right? Because daddy can only get you guys so far. You got to learn too, when you become of a certain age, then Yah expects you to what? Because remember, Yah will have households too. Who you not going to pray over your house? Who you think it has to be? Who you think it has to be? You. Just like I have to pray over my house, that's because you are in it. Yes, I have to pray over this house every day. But don't get it twisted. This comes a time when you have to learn how to what? Pray too. Because, yeah, I can pray for the house, but if you're not praying for your own self, then that's what y'all looks at too. And the devil for sure looks at it. Oh, they don't even pray. I can think I got a doorway. I think I got a way to get in. I can't mess it up through him and them because they pray, but I see one who doesn't. I can use this one and get in. That's the weak link. That's the chain. That's the doorway to still cause havoc. And sometimes when you get a point in your life when things starting to mess up a lot, that's surely a sign that you need to what? You need to pray. Things ain't where you want it to be. It can be. You just have to what? Pray about it. And be consistent. And then Yah will answer your prayers. He will answer. He'll give you the perfect remedy for whatever it is that you was thinking about. But I always learned mines come through is when I stop worrying about it. I pray, and I just have to trust at that point and let it go and just get back to work of what it is that I do, which is take care of my family and do this work. Get back to what I do. Make sure all y'all good. That's it. That's all I can do. Focus on the things that I have and not on the things that I don't what. And worry about the things that I can control and not the things that I what? Can't control. The things I can control, I do. But there are things that I can't control. That's when I need y'all's prayers for that. One last verse and I'll be done. With that being said. Second Corinthians 12. Second Corinthians 12. Six. 12. 2 Corinthians 12. Start at 6. Now this is Paul talking. Listen. He says, For such a one will I glory. Yet of myself I will not glory, but in my what? Infirmities. For though I would desire to glory, I shall not be a what? Fool. For I would say the truth. He said, I'm about to teach y'all this great truth. Listen. But now I forbear, lest any man should think of me above that which he seeth me to be, or that he heareth of me. And lest I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations that he was taught. Therefore, Paul says, therefore was given to him what? A thorn in a what? In his flesh. The messenger of Satan to what? Buffet me. Lest I should be exalted above measure. So he was always saying that he had a messenger of Satan that would try him. Because Yah had revealed so much to Paul. And he didn't want people to treat him like he was what? God or nothing like that. So he had to always learn how to humble himself. But he figured this out through Yah when Yah revealed it to him. He said, so what Yah did, he said, Yah did this to him. He gave him a thorn in his what? Flesh. And the thorn was that it was a messenger of Satan to buffet him. Buffet means to continually to try to talk him into something what? Stupid. And to continue to try him, to accuse him to y'all all the time. So he said, at least I should be exalted above measure. So this Satan, this thorn would deflate him all the time. Every time he sweat up, the thorn would what? Like take air out the balloon, like deflate him like a basketball. I know y'all, some of y'all who play basketball, how the balls get flat on you and stuff. So every time he tried to, every time he felt like he was whole, he would get what? Drained, poked, and it would what? Drain. And so he wondered, like, well, damn, why I gotta keep going through this? You know what I'm saying? He said, for this thing I besought 8, and I asked the Lord thrice that it might depart from me. Like, yeah, take away this devil from, messing with me. Because every time I feeling good about something, he would what? Drain me, like, And he said unto me, Yah said, my grace is sufficient for thee. Now, let me break that down. For my strength is made perfect in what? Weakness. Listen, he said, Yah says his strength is made perfect in what? So he needed sometimes for Paul to what? Feel what? Yes, exactly. He needed for Paul to sometimes feel that he was needing something, right? Why? So he could need Yah. So he could need Yah. That way he always remember where his blessings what? Come from. He says, so most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Yahushua may rest upon me. Because he's saying, therefore I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses for Yahushua's sake. For when I am weak, then am I what? Strong. Because he says, who strengthens him back? So he's telling you, depleted. Like your goods. He knew that the devil would always come in and deplete him of everything. Because it's not like he would feel at times that he was just so rich. Because he would see the abundance of things. Looking around like, now I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. So he says, but the devil's spirit will come in and what? Wreak havoc on that stuff. He's like, well, dang. Now I'm back to what? Right, I need some things now. So what Yah would do, just like Job, he understanding of a situation with Job. And so he depleted, he allowed the devil to deplete all my stuff so that he can understand not just where his blessings came from. He understood then, it's when you made me weak, then I knew where my strength came from. And I also knew then, you made me know you. That I had to put my trust where? Because you kept taking everything that I would think that I might want to put my trust in, because I see abundance of things. I might see, okay, I got this car, so I know I'm going to always ride. Right? Or I see this over here. I said, well, I know, you hand me a big check. And I'm like, well, I can live off this for quite a while. But what y'all would do was what? Deplete it. Quicker than he wanted it to be depleted. So that he can be like, well, dang. But that's when y'all say, my grace is what? Sufficient. See, at those moments, that's when I what? Can bless your game. See, I need you to need, that way I can bless you. But if you got everything, I can't what? And then you might even forget who I am. That I'm the provider. That's what I needed you to remember. I don't care what you think you have. I'm the what? Provider. So, because at moments, times, I can let the devil come in and what? Take all that stuff from you. And then what you gonna have? But you always know what you have, right? You have the greatest, don't you? You have the strongest, don't you? You have the most powerful, this one. Who you have? You have Yah. See, that's what he means. Now I understood where my strength lies in. That's what he said. It's when you weaken me, then I realize where my strength is now. It's not in what I got. It's not in who was around me. It's not in that I gotta have 30 people to feel like I'm strong enough to fight. I ain't gotta. You gonna take all them 30 away from me, but I still gotta know where my strength comes from. That it wasn't them 30 that made me strong. It wasn't that money that made me feel rich. It's because you had my what? My back. Because when you seen it leave, you was the one that boosted it what? Back up. Just when I thought it was all over with, it was you who came through and provided that quick rescue in those moments of need. When I thought I was done, I thought this is it. See, Yah wants you to get to the point where sometimes you need to know he will overwhelm your situation to make sure you can't get yourself out of this. You're gonna need who? Yah to get you out of this one. It was a few times that I was in situations where I knew I was in over my what? My head. And I knew at that point that would mean now I'm weak. Because I'm weak to the situation, meaning there's nothing I can't do. I done did all I could what? Do. So now it's out of my what? My hands and out of my control. And at that point, what am I going to do? And that's when Yah says, now you remember me. Because now, pray. Now, pray. I took it out of your control. I didn't want you to have control of it because I wanted you to understand who has what? Control over it. I always am in control. I make your life easy, not you. I make things work, not what? Not your strength, not your beauty. You ain't holding nobody with no power because you ain't got no power. If they being held, it's because of who? Yah. Who gives the increase? Yah. So if you need somebody to build with, who gonna give it to you? Yah, not yourself. So that's what Paul had to understand. Oh, it's when I'm weak. It's when I can't do nothing about my situation. That's the moment you love because that's when you can come alive. That's when y'all say, finally, I got room to work. Because at first he hinders me and keep me in the corner because he always say, you need my help? Nah, I got it. I got it. I got it. So y'all say, y'all get tired of hearing that I got it stuff. Y'all gets real tired of hearing that what? I got it. So y'all say, okay. Devil number 1, devil number 2, devil number 3, devil number 4, devil number 5. Come on. He got it. He got it. And sit back. Yeah. Until you say, I ain't got it. Exactly. Until you admit what? I ain't, to every tongue bow, to every tongue confess and every knee what? That what? I ain't got it. I might have to do righteousness. I might have to do it this way. I might have to live this way. I might have to allow myself to just be humble. And I got to wait on Yah. And I have to trust Yah. I got to believe. That's what Yah says. Is when you weaken me, is when you are allowed to be strong what? For me. Because that's when you will let Yah show you what Yah can really what? And then you will realize that all of a sudden a miracle or a blessing comes out of nowhere that redeemed you when you thought all was what? Right? Just when you thought you about to sink like Jonah, then there was that big fish that came and what? Swallowed you up in it and spit you back out on land. That's Yah. See, he had a situation where he don't know what he doing. He's sinking to the bottom. Oh, it's a wrap for me. But who called the big fish? It's Yah. So when you were down and out, you need to pray, okay? You need y'all to learn to pray. There's nothing wrong with it. That's your life. That's who you are. You can't do nothing on your own. Don't never believe that I'm doing any of this on my own. It's impossible. You know how you know it's impossible? You know how many people outside that door? Just give me a number.
1
Gazillion, that's close. How many people outside the door? Huh? How many people outside the door?
7. It's almost like 8 billion.
Right.
1.8. 1.
There ain't no one. That's just China.
Now it's 8 billion. You talking about in this world, right?
The world, not just China. 1 billion is that just China?
No, in the world it's actually 1 point some billion.
Way more than that. It's way more than that. Now, out of that 8-something billion, how many of them are bigger than you? So you can't tell me you're doing any of this on your own. It is of the strength of Yah that keeps you going. Because at any time, they can gang up on you. Like I told you, 5 demons come on real quick. Blue, 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 blue. All that what you thought you had is what? Gone. Yeah, real quick. You can go out that door and just have a bad day every day. But you can also go out the door and have a bad day every day, all day. Big difference, ain't it? So who is it that keeps you an easy day? It's not you. Yeah. Because he can make life what? Real hell for you, real what? Real fast.
Oh, it's 8.2 billion.
Right? So you have to remember those things. That you're not doing this on your own. It is the strength of Yah. And that's what Yah wants you to remember. That is when you're weak, that's when you can allow Yah to take over the situation and be strong for you. Which Yah loves to do. That's that moment when you black out and that's it. It ain't even you no more. Yah told me a long time ago about this one thing, which is one moment that I can't remember how the story goes, but it said this one person was walking with Yahushua on the sea, by the sand, by the beach. And he says when he was walking with Yahushua, he looked back and he saw 2 footprints, right? And then he kept walking some more. And then he looked back again and only saw 1 footprint. So as he was walking, he was like, yeah, Yahushua, you left me. You left me. You left me all alone. But Yahushua said, nah, I didn't leave you alone. Those times when you saw 2 footprints, we was walking together. But them times when you saw 1 footprint, that was me carrying you. Me carrying you. Yeah. Right. So always understanding those moments. Yeah, Yah ain't never too far, always right there. It's always in your heart. That's the planting of Yah. You'll never leave nor forsake you. But we know that you're going to have to march through this land, that's for sure. So remember those words, pandemonium and congregation, what those things mean and understand, right? And keep this great truth in you. Do it, observe it, keep it. Because these things will be for your life. Like you said, choose this day, right? Life or what? Blessings or what? Mm-hmm. We just want to choose life. We want to choose the blessings. Righteousness is where it will be. And the last point is remember that I told you concerning other nations of people. Okay? Same rules what? Right? Same rules apply. Will y'all save them? The answer is yes. But for as many that do what?
Righteousness.
And trust in it. But if they don't do righteousness, you can't get them in, let alone get yourself in. So you'll be lying to them for nothing. Right? And don't come at them like they owe you, gang saying like they gotta give you something, and then don't tell them, don't pull out your Christmas list. I'm of Israel, so you're gonna have to owe me. I want this new gang system. I need that PS10. You feel me? Before I come out, you know. I know you got it. You Esau. Don't come up with it. But no, they're gonna come to you. So I don't want y'all to be afraid. That's why I want y'all to know that other nations will come unto you, asking you these very things, like what I need to do to make things right. And you tell them. And you can't let them in until they what? Until they do. And there's no exceptions. Don't be afraid. Don't fear when they do start coming. But always understand the discipline of who is allowed and who what ain't allowed. And it's by works, right? They gotta what? Have what in their hand? Don't step to y'all what? Empty-handed. Meaning having no righteousness, no proof that you even did anything righteous your whole entire life. You better be blessing Israel, just like we all have to. We're supposed to bless and hold up the poor and those that need of Israel. This was the commandment. He said, I already laid before all men what they had to do. So nobody's going to get out of it. You can't let nobody in that ain't did no works. Faith without works is what? All right? Anybody that won't do it to you is who? Dead. Until they do. Because that's what they land in a dormant state at that point anyway. Walking what? The walking dead. Anybody that won't do righteousness is walking dead. I don't care who it is. All right? So with that, that's going to conclude our family day, all right? So let's pray. Thy heavenly parent, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For the heavenly parents are the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Hallelujah.